Well, hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's new episode of Primetime Gaming with Mr. BoomStick and Friends. And yes, today I have brought the entire crew back from the dead, and we also have a special guest joining us. This is going to be a great show, folks. We're going to open up with a bit of a conundrum. Something happened this weekend that kind of set Microsoft back a little bit, and of course, because as the kids say, keeping that same energy when they do great things, we talk about it. When they make a bit of a blunder, we have to discuss it and ask the question, how did this happen? Why did this happen? And more importantly, what exactly was said? Because there was a lot of assumptions, and you know what they say: when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, and we don't want to do that. And of course, we're going to be breaking down the monster leaks that came out of Reddit regarding season 1 of course, Halo Infinite's multiplayer. And man, folks, if you are a fan of course, Noble Team, if you are a fan of one of Bungie's last games and those characters, I think you're going to want to drop down the money for season 1 because there's going to be a lot of goodies. And I'm not going to spoil them all for you. I took out a few of the 120 levels that really resonated with me as a fan of Reach, and we're gonna be breaking that down. But let's introduce first our guest. You know him as someone that's no holds barred. He is someone that some consider the mouth of the south of Canada. Please welcome Noof Nukem on camera, and he's dressed, folks.
Well, I don't recall doing a podcast naked, but hey, I've been prone to.
There's always a first time for everything.
First time for everything. Oh, that's where I found Cyril Sneer. All right, but anyway, boom, kaboom, it's Noof Nukem in the room. Well, glad to be here. It's been a long time. It just kind of dawned on me today that I had the day off, so I can rarely make these shows live a lot of the times, especially since you've had to move the show up. So here I am. Thanks for the invitation. It's always a pleasure to be here with this fantastic cast of characters on the panel, and of course, one of the Dynamite chats. So I'm looking forward to getting into it. Boom. Thanks again.
Well, thank you, brother, for reaching out, because obviously we love having you on here, and of course you are family, so you are always welcome. Next up, you know him as someone that I invaded his podcast during the slanderish episode of course, his amazing podcast, the Gaming Circle podcast on Saturday. Please welcome the very talented K Asante. What's up, dude?
Good evening, folks. Oh, this has been. It's always good to podcast with you guys. Yeah, over the weekend was fun, right?
Yes,
we had a lot of fun over the weekend. The show was nice and tight because we had to go watch. We had to go watch the DC fandom, but we had a really great time, and I appreciate you coming in there and standing up for Nintendo a little bit. But yes, welcome everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is going to be a great show. We have Noof in the room. We have everybody. Everybody's here. I think even the slanderous one is going to make an appearance. So
yes,
it's going to be a nice full house. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, listen, DC fandom. Wow, 4 hours of complete rubbish. The games that they showed, which we're getting two big DC games in 2022. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League looks amazing. Gotham Knights with the Court of Owls looks so good, folks. If you've never read that story, and I'm not going to sit here in front, I haven't read it back to forth and forth to back. I've gotten halfway through it. It's probably one of my favorite Batman tales, right next to The Long Halloween. And the Court of Owls, folks, they're no joke. They are legit. I mean, as deadly as the Joker is for Batman, the Court of Owls are as serious of a villain as has ever been, and I cannot wait to play these games next year. But let's continue with the introductions. Next up, the best beard in the business, and his beard is so good that he had to put on glasses to protect his eyes from seeing himself on camera. Please welcome the Wandering Dutch. What's up, brother?
Yeah, you've got Professor Dutch this week.
I love it. Well, we didn't have you last week. I'm glad that you beat the migraine, because I'm a migraine sufferer as well. And dude, I hear you. Some days you don't even want to think, let alone podcast. It's great to have you back.
Yeah, it's great to be back. I'm looking forward to jumping into these topics and getting some slander off on
Yeah,
our
yeah.
favorite platform today.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, we're gonna be talking about it. Like I said, I mean, listen, I'm the first one to come to Microsoft's defense. I'm certainly the first one to cheer when they do it right. But I'm also a little taken aback by what happened this weekend. And again, we are going to keep it a buck here, and we're going to talk about it. We're not going to throw any mud, but yeah, these things can happen. And why it happened and how it happened is still a bit of a head scratcher. But Dutch, it's great to have you back. Now, next up, this is a man that cannot, and I mean cannot, stop playing Far Cry 6 like me. I put in 6 hours today, and I cannot stop playing. It's my favorite game of the year. My weapons are just straight up boss, and I'm hitting people in the dome from across the way. It is unbelievable. Tempest Son, what's up, brother? How the heck are you?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Good to be here again. I was on a bit of a vacation.
Nice.
And yeah, back now, ready to get into these topics. And yep, like you said, man, I'm addicted to 2 games at the moment, and that is Back for Blood and Far Cry. And
Nice.
I'm just, whenever my wife doesn't want to play Back for Blood, I just hop on Far Cry and then when she's ready. So Quick Resume's getting a good workout. But yeah, good time. There's too many freaking games to play, man. I tell you what, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, no, really, and we're not even in the thick of things. That's coming. But last and no way least, unfortunately, he's a bit under the weather today, but he's still here for your enjoyment because he missed last week. And again, we really know what he was doing. He was hanging out with Unicorn Nation or whatever the heck those guys are called. Middle-aged gamer guy, what's up, dude?
Yes, good evening, guys. Yes, I was off last week for Canadian Thanksgiving. It's great to be here. Great to be back on the show. Yeah, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I can still yell, but I got a runny nose. So I don't need the audience to be watching me blow my nose every 5 minutes. But anyhow, guys, I haven't been playing a whole lot of games in the last week because I was away. I mean, first of all, I had a Canadian Thanksgiving. Then I was away. But I got to tell you one thing, unrelated to gaming. I just watched Halloween Kills, and I have one question. How the hell does a 62-year-old guy beat the crap and kill everybody? How does he do it? I'm 46 and I can barely get up the stairs. I don't know. I don't get it.
Viagra.
Yeah, right. Something like
He is
that.
the devil incarnate. That is how Michael Myers does it.
I have a quick question to ask everybody on the panel very quickly about Back for Blood. I'm not going to derail this thing. Just a quick question. I want a quick answer. If you play with just 2 people, will you still get the progression and rewards?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you. Just because my wife and I want to play it this week. That's all.
No,
But anyways, guys, let's have a great show.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what? Let's open up with, of course, the controversy. Thanks to our good friends and at the VGC, which of course is videogameschronicles.com. They're one of my favorite places to get daily news. Their journalists are fantastic. I'm actually trying to get one of their editors on the show in the upcoming weeks before the end of the year. So I'm hoping that comes to fruition. But they wrote a story, and here's what it was titled. Xbox apologizes for confusion after seemingly teasing Fable news. Now, this is what happened on Sunday for the official Twitter account of Xbox Game Studios Publishing. They posted this, folks. We're excited to kick off something special tomorrow. Just give us one more day to prepare the chickens with and they added obviously a chicken emoji. And then they followed that with, we'd call it our Fable anniversary, but that name was already taken. Now, I saw this tweet like many Xbox gamers talking about it's got boom with the goosies, right? I got excited. I said, holy cow, we're either getting Fable news or could they be releasing the trilogy in 4K 60? My DMs were going crazy. Everyone's excited. People are. I'm fighting with people on Twitter. One guy wrote to me and says, it's probably not that." And I'm like, "Well, what do you know?" You know what I'm saying? Well, he obviously knew better. And Boom is the fool for defending Xbox because Xbox Game Studio Publishing's official account then posts this later on. "Sorry for any confusion," it read. "We don't have any big game news tomorrow or any info about Playground's upcoming Fable game." And this was Boom devastated because in my ridiculous head, and I have a big caguama, and people that understand Spanish understands what that is. That means big head, because that's what Mrs. Boom says all the time, because I'm a knucklehead sometimes. I got all wrapped up into my feels, and I said, holy cow, this is going to be the start of something special. They're going to drop the trilogy, redone, new achievements. Nothing else matters. I'm playing through Fable 1 through 3. Here we go. Turns out it's a big nothing burger, as we've heard the kids say. Que Asante. This, look, I mean, folks, listen, again, we're not dumping on Xbox, but you gotta ask the question. How did it go from we're excited to kick off something special tomorrow, just give us one more day to prepare the chickens, with a chicken emoji? And I thought, being a diehard fan, oh my God, it's Fable. We'd call it our Fable anniversary, but that name was already taken. How the F do you tweet that? And then you say, well, folks, sorry for any confusion. We don't have any big game news tomorrow or any info about Playground Games' upcoming Fable game. WTF! Exclamation point times 100.
So it's not the worst. It's okay. It could still happen, because the words that they used, even after they came out and they did their whole mea culpa, was they don't have any words on the new game coming. So I'm still convinced that there is something to be said about re-releasing of the trilogy, possibly cleaning it up, giving it to a different team, all of that, right? This is possibly a timing thing. But I always say this about Microsoft, and they always give me reason to continue saying this about them. They have this amazing ability to clutch defeat from the jaws of victory. Insert foot in mouth. Like, come on, people. This was an easy layup. Like, what is wrong with you?
This is Patrick Ewing all over again, folks.
Man,
you're a New York Knicks fan. You know what I'm talking about.
You know, because we know it's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
It's a slam dunk. They're gonna re-release all three, even if it's a small little like a 4K texture update or whatever. Put it in a nice package just to remind everybody how fun those were right before before the hotness that is the reboot comes out at some point and they start dropping some news bombs on you. That'll all happen. This may be some dude somewhere going, "Come on, Bob, let's get it started early," and they went, "Wait, we're not done yet," and then they had to retract it. I get all that. But come on, man.
I never want to say this publicly, but fire Bob, okay?
Seriously. This is absolutely ridiculous, And those of us who try to live in the world of the real and, don't give people endless smoke for unnecessary reasons, this feeds into all of that, right?
It does.
This feeds into the presumed incompetency. They're not incompetent, right? They're making major moves. They're doing really interesting things. By many accounts, they're moving the ball forward more from the back, more than the people in the front are, right?
Yes.
They're definitely doing great things. But this has always been one of their problems, and buying Bethesda did not solve it. Bethesda has a great marketing team. They need to start taking point, because these guys make these unforced errors. Nobody asked you anything. Be quiet. Show us something when it's literally in your hand. Don't blow your load early. Pause. I'm sorry.
No. Look. I mean, the reality is this, right? No one can take away what Microsoft has done. Phil Spencer and the team, and you know, a lot of times we give Phil a lot of credit, and he deserves it because obviously he's in charge. But there are an incredible amount of amazing people that work at Redmond that keep the cogs going. It's not Phil's steering the ship just fine, but there's so many people. And it goes beyond the Matt Booties, you know, and Sarah, and of course, you know, Aaron, and you know, and you know, and everyone else that we know by name, that the nameless that keep this going.
Yep.
But you know, Dutch, I want to go to you with you on this, because this is one of those situations, and it leads right into what Kay Asante said. Every time they are on the highest of highs, they find a way to fall off. I don't understand this. Like this over here, this is a self-made wound. Like they initiated this. This didn't come from any of our friends in the industry. Let's say Special Nick from Xbox Era, or you know, any of the people that we like to listen to. You know, pick Jeffrey Grubb. Pick him, and we all love Jeff Grubb, right? It's not any of these guys. This was, hey, we got an announcement, and you're like, holy shit, this is coming from Xbox Game Studio Publishing. We're on to something, right? Oh, by the way, psych.
Yeah.
Why does this happen, Dutch?
You know what it is? I can never answer why it happens, because each one of these accounts has separate social media kind of managers that looks after it. But it always seems to be when there's a slight lull point in news that Xbox puts something out and that there shouldn't be, or put things out too early. In this instance, I think what has happened is that they've put out a tweet far too early. Like Kersante was mentioning, I think there is news. Obviously, it's got nothing to do with the new Fable by Playground, because Xbox Game Studios Publishing works with second and third parties on publishing other deals, not specifically in-house deals. So it was never to do with the newest one, but it was specifically probably to do with an upcoming either remaster or enhancement to older titles that clearly isn't anywhere near being ready to be talked about yet. So there's always some kind of communication mix-up internally at Xbox that they need to iron out, where they just release information early that shouldn't have been mentioned. And then when it comes to actually releasing it, everyone was like, well, yeah, I know we knew about that. Now it's like old news. It's old hat, because you accidentally talked about it months ago and then told us it wasn't there, but then it is there. So when we do get the information, it's no longer exciting because we've had that information before. It's just mess ups for no reason. They need to really get on top of it. It's I don't think. I mean, it's like Kersante was saying, it's not the worst thing that could have happened. I mean, obviously they've overcome worse, which was leaking the Series S. Obviously they come out of that with a meme. But yeah, it's just things that they didn't need to. It's minor setbacks and minor kind of things that then the community just grasps hold of and just goes, look, they're doing it again. Look, typical Xbox. Look at this. And they bring it on themselves. They bring their own damage. There is no need for this. Like, they could have quite easily just subsided this by just not saying a word, or just even the first tweet. And then if there wasn't anything to speak about, then don't speak about it.
Yeah.
But the fact that they followed up the first tweet with another tweet talking about Fable, that just cemented it. They could have just put the first tweet out, and if nothing happened, then they would have just said, that's it.
Yeah.
Or just put a random meme out or something. But the fact that they followed up a tweet with another tweet and then continued it throughout just made matters worse for them. But yeah, it's just strange that they just keep doing this. They just need to wrap their heads around the internal communications and get on with it again.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, real quick, shout out, good friend of the show, What Just Happened. He says, Xbox social media teams have been on fire this year. This was the first mistake that they made. And dude, it's actually not the first one, but you're definitely onto something. Their social media team for Xbox has been fantastic, right? It has been punch after punch after punch. Now, obviously, here's the thing that's interesting. When Xbox does like these tweets, that particular social media team, at least in this year, like what just happened said, fantastic, right? This is from another team. This is from Xbox Publishing. We don't hear a lot from them, right? We don't normally hear from them. So when I saw this tweet, I said, holy shit. We haven't heard boo from them almost the entire year, and they're dropping what seems to be massive Fable news. Now, like I said, I honestly, you know what's crazy? And I'm going to go next to Tempest on this. I didn't think Playground's Fable. That's not what I thought at all. I immediately thought, and I've been waiting for this announcement. Listen, Fable's going to be coming out whenever Fable's going to come out. We don't even have a year. People speculate maybe holiday next year, maybe, spring of 23, which is kind of what I'm thinking, right? When I saw this, I immediately equated it to like, whoa, we're going to get the trilogy with new achievements, 4K 60, running on the X and the S, and the world is going to be a better place because guess what, gamers? We're playing old games and they're new again, right? The whole play old games crap, that's a conversation that was left in last generation. I love playing old games. If you're going to give me a new coat of paint, give me new achievements, and make it run the way it's supposed to run on the X, I'm all in, right? Tempest, why does it seem like sometimes the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing with Xbox? Because that's what this happens to be. Tempest, you there, brother? Tempest has stepped away from this. All right, so listen, you know what? Noof, you answer that question, brother.
I am here, man. I am here. Honestly, I don't know. It's a flub. Somebody messed up somewhere. I don't know if they just how these things happen. Where the hierarchy is in terms of the social media. That's because they all have their little divisions right within Xbox, and obviously somebody's in charge of the social media team. It's kind of a big flub because obviously it drummed up a lot of excitement. I too, that's the first thing I saw last night when I saw this is like, oh, maybe some Fable footage tomorrow, something about the new Fable game. I mean, it's long overdue. Throw us a bone, toss us a bone. Obviously, it sounds like something went ahead before perhaps they had full, cooperation from the team at Playground Games, who are probably just not ready to show something at this point in time. Or at least they have stuff ready to go, but it's just the timing is not now. So, someone effed up, and it's pretty much that plain and simple. It sucks for us as content creators and people that create videos because it would have been a nice, juicy tidbit for us today. And instead of talking about something that we should be excited for related to Microsoft and Xbox, here we are, talking about the misdemeanors and the downside of kind of getting overly hyped, overly excited, and something taken at face value that turned out to be obviously false. I mean, what else can you say with that sort of a tweet? Talking about the chickens. I mean, we all know how the chickens are infamous with Fable. So, something's got to come soon. Again, I'm sure whoever put that out there has probably gotten a little bit of a kick in the pants since then. And they got to reel that stuff back in. So, I mean, it really isn't too much to say on it. I can't sit here and shoot wind up people's butts all day talking about this one because it really isn't much to say. It's a flub, how this stuff gets handled or started. But like you said, sometimes you do have to wonder what is going on because it does feel like there's a disconnect somewhere between an Xbox at certain points in time, not all the time, but there's definitely some lack of communication or a lack of transparency at times. And, it goes right down to something on a following again, going back like the Game Pass numbers and stuff like that, how nobody wants to really give the exact number and people take that and run with it. So they're, we got one side of the camp that obviously wants to believe that it's absolutely terrible. Another side of the camp that wants to believe that it's absolutely dynamite and their numbers are well up there, so on and so forth. But this is a flub, no more, no less. And I'll shut my trap and let you hand it over to Meg.
A quick aside. Let me excuse me, a little bit of color to add to this whole situation. And he also did this at the same time at 4:00 in the morning this morning. Vinji Guile, his name is, associate producer at Playground Games, working on Fable, puts in the logo, a GIF of Fable and types at the top, And so it begins. ... At 5 o'clock this morning.
Wow.
Just a quick side note: has everybody got dry throats today? Because it seems like that's the case.
It's happening everywhere. We're passing it down the virtual line.
Yes.
Sorry,
That
we
is the
certainly
case.
are. Yeah, that absolutely is the case for sure, 100%.
I blame Mag.
You inhale too much
Yeah.
bullshit. That's what happens.
Oh my God, it's
Zombie
crazy.
apocalypse started in Canada in Back for Blood, and I guess I started it here too. So there we
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Well, there you go. Mag, let's grab your opinion on this. Obviously, look, again, not the biggest story of the night. We're not dumping on Xbox.
Yeah.
Obviously this is a mistake, right? But it's one of those mistakes that when you see them so far, look, you folks, you got to call a spade a spade. If you're tallying numbers on who has dropped the ball in 2021, the top of that list is Sony, and then followed by a close second, and I mean by a hairline fracture close, is Nintendo. Microsoft is hitting on all cylinders, but again, why make these mistakes to give your competition a chance to get back in the race? That's all I'm saying. Mag, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, I actually look at this as a way bigger deal than just like they just, all right, there was a little bit of miscommunication here and there, whatever, right? This is, I don't think people are really appreciating how actually, you're right, Boom, you're absolutely right, that this is actually a way bigger deal because it's all about your public image. It's about your PR, okay? And it's about your mind share. And if you have that, look, like you don't know what you're doing, or who don't, just like you said, you don't
Who's
know,
on
the left hand
first?
doesn't know what the right hand's doing, this and that. Okay, yeah.
Yes. Who's on
If
first?
I told you that I was going to give you croissants for breakfast when you came in to see me and eat at my place, and I messed up the delivery date, I'm going to piss off about 8 people. When you're Microsoft and you say something like that, you are talking to millions of people.
Yes.
Right? And not only millions of fans. Because it's Microsoft, you also have the ears, as we well know, Twitter Spaces. We have the ears of millions of haters waiting for them to trip with their shoelaces untied, right? And so every little thing that you do, every little mistake that you make is going to make you look foolish. Now, here's the thing. By the way, anybody in the Pegasus Nation, start recording now because I'm saying something negative, okay, about Microsoft. Microsoft's biggest problem is that, and I've said this for years, and I've said this since I started the show with you, is that sometimes they are just too transparent. Okay? They are transparent to a fault. And the problem is they don't know how to keep their mouths shut. Yeah. We don't always need to see what's behind the curtain. We don't need to know how long this is going to take, that's going to take, this is going to take. Just get it done. I want to take that page from Sony, for example. Sony does this right. I got to give it to them. You got to give it to Sony. They do this right. When it comes to their first party, they keep their mouths shut and they get the work done. I hearken back to Uncharted 4. You remember Uncharted 4? It was delayed 3 times. Big delay. Well, not huge delays, but big enough, right? It was borderline turning into Cyberpunk. However, did you see Sony doing daily tweets going, look, guys, we just added 4 pixels to the cuffs of Nathan Drake's pants today. We're getting there. No, they just kept their mouth shut and they got the work done so that when the game came out, the game was magnificent, right? So like I said, it's the same thing here. Well, I know it seems like a different subject, but it's actually not. This all ties in together. The point is, when they've got something to say or something to do, I understand it's a big company. There's a lot of moving parts, but the problem is you have to be in constant communication because you do not want to upset people right now at the beginning of a generation. This is the time where you're supposed to make very little mistakes, right? Now, yeah. I'm not saying it's the biggest deal. I bet you a number of people out there don't even know what the hell we're talking about, right? Only the eagle-eyed people or the people who are in the community, that kind of thing, right? They know what's going on. But other than people, they don't even know what the hell's going on. So that's fine. But the thing is, you've got to be careful when it comes to PR work. You can't start putting tweets out like that, especially now during this fall season when things are starting to heat up. We got the Game Awards coming out. You know things are going to happen. Maybe there's an EXO event. We don't even know. The 20th anniversary of Xbox is next month, right? There's a lot of things to look forward to. So you've got to be careful about how you put out that information. And when you make a blunder like this, my God, it's not the biggest deal, but to me, it is. It makes you look like a damn fool. You know, and that's the way I feel about it. I just think it's silly. Like, and then, like I said, once again, too transparent. Like these guys just spouting off at the mouth about this and that and the other thing. You know, if I'm cooking you a steak and you're sitting in the dining room, do you need me to come out and say, "Oh, hey, Mr. Sante, I just seasoned your steak for you. It's going on the grill in 5 seconds." And then I go back in the kitchen, and then 5 minutes later, I come back out and I go, "Oh, by the way, Mr. Sante, I just gave it a 45-degree turn. We're almost going to flip it. All right, I'll see you back in a couple minutes." You don't
cut the
care.
blow by blow and bring me my damn steak, man. Come on, now. Just bring me the damn steak.
Right. So what the thing is, keep your mouth shut until you have something to show and you've got everything solid. I'm sure Asante would be sitting there going, dude, I don't really care. Just bring me the steak when it's done. All right. I'm talking to my date here or whatever. Okay. That's what this all boils down to. It boils down to the fact that, like, they got to be more social media responsible. That's a
great point.
That's the best way I could put it. You got Greenberg. Like, these guys are great because they are very personable. They talk to the fans.
We love them for that.
They're human.
I mean, a perfect example is the latest one into the conversation is Sarah Bond.
Yes,
like she is a boss. Like that. I mean, and as much as I'd love to interview Phil, and maybe one day, I don't know, Boom's still a little small. Sarah is someone that I really want to interview because I think, and this is my opinion, when Phil is done, that's his spiritual successor, man, because she is amazing, right?
But Boom, you see what I'm saying, though, brother? You got all these personalities, all these Xbox personalities out there, right? But the problem is sometimes they spout off a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Greenberg might say a little of this. All of a sudden, Sarah Bond says a little of that. The only one who seems to be a lot quieter these days and a lot more level-headed when it comes to any kind of thing is Phil himself. Yeah. He has no choice now. I mean, he's the head cheese, right? But these other guys are like, "Oh, yeah, this." And I'm like, you guys don't understand that one sentence or one word can literally set the internet on fire. You have to be more responsible about what you're saying. And, you get people speculating, and if you show them nothing, you're going to upset them. I understand. It's the internet. Everybody gets pissed off at something. But, you got to be a little bit more responsible. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, great point. 10%. Let's get your opinion on this. Again, is it the biggest mistake Microsoft has ever made? No, not at all. But everyone, and I mean anyone that is a diehard Xbox fan, that's in the trenches enjoying the games, we all want something Fable. And when you go out and you say that and then you retract it, man, it's a bad look. What are your thoughts on this, dude?
I'm pretty much in agreement with everybody here. I can't really add too much new to it. It was absolutely a blunder. It's kind of embarrassing, really. The $2 trillion company, they just had to completely go back on what they said, and it is kind of screwy. But at the end of the day, I think the reason it's mostly a blunder and such a big one is the time frame in which it got announced. It got announced with a CGI trailer, a very short one at that. It was more of like a quick little tone piece, but it showed us absolutely nothing about the game. Really, the most we know about it is the developers making it are extraordinarily talented, as far as a Ryzen 5, right? But so I don't know. I guess, my question, I guess, to just change it up here is, what does the panel think? Do we want shorter reveals because of stuff like this? Are we too hungry for knowledge on the game when it was released or showed off a year and a half ago? Do we want to wait until it's more ready so we could actually, know more about it when they finally announce it? Or are you cool with CGI trailer 2 to 3 years later, we might find out something about it,
Yeah.
Because right now, I got to be completely honest. It's a little frustrating. Like my wife doesn't pay too close attention to the industry. One thing that caught her eye, she's always loved Fable. She's loved all three of them, the three main ones. She's constantly asking me any news on Fable. When I say constantly, I mean quite frequently. Any news on Fable? Any news on Fable? I'm like, no. So it's like, I don't know. I guess that's where my head is at.
So did you have to do that to your wife as well? We have great news. Oh, never mind.
Yep. Never mind.
And see,
Yeah.
and that's someone that gets excited for anything Fable news because she's such a big fan. To be brought up then to be dropped down is disappointing. It is 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, good stuff. And Everborn Saga, he's also been a little bit under the weather. Everborn, I think what's happening is you are suffering from post New York Comic-Con blues.
It's the con flu. That's what they call it.
The con flu, because you definitely sound a little under the weather. But listen, from a marketer's point of view, and obviously I bring you into the conversation because you have an amazing product. And you go out there and you give us news on a regular basis, people that supported you on the Kickstarter, people that are fans that look forward to the next adventure. You go out there and you see this happening. I mean, isn't it a bit of a head scratcher for you?
Well, okay. Firstly, there's a few things I want to say. I want to explain why I was late. I was almost here, and then I got a call from the missus, and she went to get her nails and toes done, and she left. She took her purse, but left her wallet, and then she had no cash because this nail place only takes cash. So I had to go stop at the ATM and then bring her some cash and then come here. So I apologize to everyone for that.
That's all right, brother. It's fine.
Right,
We're family first on this podcast,
yes.
brother.
Now, the other thing I would like to say is that I just knew that once Mag got inducted into the Pegasus Nation, that he would come here with this Microsoft slander. I see you, sir. You're not gonna come in here and be a double agent. Okay.
Sorry, I was blowing my nose. Yeah, no, this is nonsense. I already got a fan in the chat who's chirping me up something fierce right now for my thoughts.
Yeah.
I see you, sir.
All right. So now to answer the question, I get it, right? But we cannot have it both ways. We have all given Sony and Nintendo shit for not being transparent.
Yes.
Right? They are transparent. And when you are transparent, sometimes things like this are going to happen. And I think they, more than anything, under the reign of Phil, he has tried to humanize the Xbox division. They feel like people, and I don't even know who this person is that's running the publishing account. But for me, like, okay, obviously the person who tweeted that, Bob, we're calling him Bob.
Oh, Bobby.
Yeah. Bob obviously got the go ahead to make that tweet, right? At some point.
Yes.
Right?
That's correct.
And they said they had to get things ready. And again, what happened, I don't know any other way to interpret this, is that whatever they're going to announce, they got the word that it was supposed to be ready tomorrow, but we need to put some finishing touches on this thing. And Phil's Xbox, what he is saying is until something is ready, it's not coming out. And so he has given, because some people would have been like, we announced it, just show it. It might be rough around the edges, but we're going to show it anyway. So my thing is, like, it's not nothing, right? Whatever Bob was talking about, it is something. And will it matter if they show it next Monday? Will anyone?
No, I mean, I will be talking about it next Monday and say, hey, guess what, folks? They're releasing X, Y, and Z, and we're all excited,
Right, and that's the thing. This was it was a mistake, but again, I think that what Xbox is trying to cultivate is being more informative. And now all that being said, like, marketing wise, right? Because let's take out here's the announcement about, where we are with Halo, and here's our Forza update every like 30 seconds. That's the transparent part. This is the marketing part, and it's kind of a like it is an unforced error, right? And they have egg on their face, but I think that this will not matter once Bob shows us whatever the hell he was talking about. And let's be clear.
You think Bob is going to be around to show that?
Absolutely. Because it wasn't his fault. He wouldn't have tweeted it in the first place.
True.
If
Somebody
he didn't
authorized
get that.
it. You're absolutely right on that.
And then the team who had to show stuff was like, we're not ready yet. So then it's like now it falls on Bob because he's the front man to go and apologize. Mm-hmm. So I don't think this is Bob's fault. Sure. I think Bob was told, you don't tweet something out like that without them telling you. It's not like Bob was like, you know what, I'm going rogue. Right? Bob's job is to run the social media account, right? And he had to get the approval, right? So he had to get the approval, and then he unfortunately had to break the news, Bob. And I hope Bob is not a lady because it's kind of messed up if we're.
You mean
well,
Roberta?
Bobby can be. I mean, we should have done unisexually is called the person Bobby because Bobby is unisex. It'd be girl, guys. So we wouldn't be offending anyone. We said Bob, so Bob it is.
No, when you said Bob, I just thought Bob has bitch tits from Fight Club.
Stop it!
Sorry.
Stop it!
I apologize. I'm a
pause, but I never say pause.
But anyway, no, his name was Robert Paulson. But I do not blame Bobby, and I actually think remember what they're trying to cultivate is grown adult fans that can deal with. Listen, sometimes there's bad news. Like I've said, like for example, on last week's show, I said the new Prince of Arcadia book was going to be released tomorrow. And then and I know I'm not big Microsoft, but what I'm saying is it didn't release till 2 days after that when I said it was going to release. But it released, and these things happen. And I don't think I don't think we got to get so crazy because again, let's not forget and let's not pretend it's only Microsoft that's making these unforced errors, Mr. We Believe in Generations. No.
I thought he was going to bring up Bluepoint. Actually, you could have brought up.
Bluepoint. There you go. That's another one.
Yeah,
I was expecting Bluepoint from you, sir.
No, I was going to go down a list. Right?
No. Again, here's the thing. Again, we're not again. If you're a fan of Bugs Bunny, you know what I'm talking about. The old pile on the rabbit. All the dogs are jumping on Bugs Bunny to crush him. That's not what this is about. This is a story that no one has talked about. You come and you tune in every week to this show, and hopefully you enjoy it. And we have to talk about these things because Everborn said it correctly. When Jim Ryan puts his foot in his mouth, and he's been doing that quite often this year.
Jim, I don't care about consoles no more, Ryan.
Right. We give them the business. When Nintendo announces a $50 a year emulator, you tune in to the Gaming Circle podcast to hear the slanderous one tear them down, and it's well deserved. The righteous smoke. So when Microsoft makes a blunder, and again, is it the biggest one in the world? No, but because of the significance, folks, we have to talk about it. Even if you're the die-hardest of the die-hard Xbox fans, you gotta tip your cap that we're here having an adult conversation, and we're not turning this into a flame match.
And I'm just here to damage control, so don't pay attention to me.
Absolutely, 100%, absolutely. Listen,
he's wearing
folks,
his cap this evening.
This has been a great way to open up the show. We're 43 minutes in. We have two big topics to get to. We're going to be talking about next February. Thanks to our friend of the community, Shinobi. He dropped a list, and this is just a starter list of what we know is coming out. Folks, February's ask for gift cards for Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate. Tuck them in the underwear drawer and hold on to those things because that's what Boom does. But before we get to that story, let me thank some of the people in the super chat realm who's been dropping bombs. The first one of the night comes to us from Chaos Mike, drops an outstanding $10 super chat and says, "Can't wait for Halo Infinite. You and me both, brother." He says, "Had too much fun with it. Halo 2 and 3 multiplayer doesn't cut it on the Master Chief Collection, the MCC, because they modernized Halo in a good way. You can feel the headshots and movement is smooth." Yeah, the movement in Infinite is bananas. Brett Bingham, friend of this show. Brett, you're going to be very happy because even though we're not talking about it today, tomorrow's brand new episode of the Xbox Factor podcast. This story that you're talking about, where Phil Spencer was speaking with WSJ Tech Live on a stream about acquisitions, saying that there will be more acquisitions and there's no deadline to complete them. That story is coming tomorrow. As a matter of fact, Pong Soul, brother from another, is writing that original topic. He'll be leading that topic on tomorrow's podcast. Tune in tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to hear that. The KI goodness that my brother from all the way across the pond and then some, of course, in Australia. And of course, I'm talking about Special Nick of the Xbox era. He delighted me with some new Killer Instinct information that KI2 is, in fact, in active development, folks. We're talking about that tomorrow. And we're also going to be talking about Compulsion Games. And this is for you, Cog, if you're listening. Hashtag just one. They're making an over-the-shoulder, story-driven, third-person game that is, again, if you talk to Phil Spencer, he's excited for it. Yes, sir.
Hey, Boom, did you now Cog? I quote tweeted Cog on that one, and I said, you might be getting your just one, and he said, I might be getting more than one.
I got to talk to Cog. Okay, we got.
Let me find out. Cog is breaking some news here.
Well, Cog is he's
a made man now.
He's a made man. He's Hollywood.
He's in the know for sure.
Like we right now, we are off Broadway. He is Broadway. Okay, Cog, if you're listening, stop blushing because you made it, and we love you for it. But listen, so thank you so much, Brett, for the $5 super chat. And he drops an additional $5 super chat and says, Sony does things right, but we forget to mention the acquisition snafu that they mistakenly announced ahead of schedule. Yeah, that's exactly what Everborn Saga was saying. Thank you for that. This is someone that's going to be making his appearance here very soon. We're trying to get the schedules together. Tay Talks. I found this dude. His channel just happened to pop into my feed, and I listened to one of his videos. Folks, check it out. I don't steer you in the wrong direction, right? Go sub this dude. Tay Talks. I'm trying to get him on. He is legit as they come. He's a funny MF on top of that when he puts these videos together. Go check out his stuff. He
Very
drops.
good. I can concur. I really
thank
like
you,
it.
sir. Thank you. Yes, absolutely.
Good.
Yes. Me too. I the minute I heard the video, and I think it was an Xbox Sony kind of thing, and it wasn't slander. It was a lot of facts. It was fantastic.
Well produced, really
yes.
clean. I appreciated it.
Yeah. Very, very good stuff. He drops a £5 super chat and says, "Pretty late over here in Ireland, but all good here for the commentary. Keep it going, guys." Well, thank you, Tay. And listen, brother, hit me up in the DM and let's get you on this program. We have Army veteran, good friend of the show. He drops a $5 super chat and says, "Congrats on 9K. If anyone is interested, I need some friends to play Back for Blood. Gamer tag is Army veteran." Yes, dude, I have not even played it because, damn it, Far Cry 6 is so good. That's the only thing I'm playing. And Animal Crossing with the missus, which is dope. Good friend of the show. Wow. And generous friend of the show. Bunty, who has been a fan for a very, very long time. I'm almost embarrassed to say that. He's just I'm nobody, folks. I'm just another gamer like you. He drops a $20 super chat and says, "I agree with everyone about Microsoft being too transparent, but they kept saying that's the way that they are. And if Microsoft doesn't say nothing, Nintendo don't say nothing, and Sony doesn't say anything, Sony says only speculation." Yeah, that's true. I mean, listen, you're definitely onto that. Wow, Brett. He drops an additional $5 super chat and says that tweet by Xbox wasn't as bad as the Sony mistake with the acquisition announcement. Yeah, that absolutely. That could have sank the acquisition talks with that studio. He's talking about Blue Point. Yeah, that was bad. That was Japan, Sony Japan that dropped that. And wow, I don't understand what happened. Smuzz246 drops an outstanding $5 super chat and says, "Good evening, Boom and panel. Has anyone heard a time of day when the Xbox mini fridge pre-orders will go live? Have a great show." I actually reached out to Wario64. I sent him a tweet directly to see if he was going to have the link because, listen, follow that man. A good friend of the show. I'm trying to see where is it in my messages? They sent me, who was it here? It might have been Percolator. Someone sent me the link directly for Target. For here in the US, Target is the one that's going to be carrying it. And if you know anything about GI Joes, it's going to be a nightmare. But thank goodness we have confirmation that they're going to be selling these things well into 22. So if you don't get the first batch, you will eventually get it. They're going to make sure that everyone gets their hands on it. And real quick, I gotta say, congratulations for someone that I think is one of the hardest working content creators, the indie gamers in the chat. He finally hit 2,000 subscribers. That is a big deal. I mean, if anyone represents, first of all, he should have 10,000 subs. He represents the indie community better than the trades do. And he does it with such class and distinction. Congratulations on 2K, brother. We want to see you quadruple that in 22 for sure. It's what you deserve it, that and 10 times over. But folks, I gotta get to the Shinobi tweet. That is, when we talk about what games are coming out next year, a lot of the times we don't know how much or how big it is going to be until you see a list of it, right? Now, Shinobi 602, who is an industry insider, someone that is been around, someone that I've been following for many, many years, he dropped February's known schedule. And this is how it looks, folks. Now, this is going to be a free-for-all topic. Anyone that wants to jump in, go throw your hat in the ring. This is kind of like a battle royale, right? We're going to throw somebody off the top rope and get you out of here. So jump in if you want, and then we're going to get into the back end, which is the Halo leak, which is crazy good. February 4th, Dying Light 2. February 18th, Horizon Forbidden West. February 22nd, for all the Destiny heads, Destiny 2, The Witch Queen. February 22nd gets 2 games in the King of Fighters 15, and I'm a diehard Terry Bogard fan, so I'm going to be on that. Sifu, which is coming out exclusively for the PlayStation 5, which looks dope. If you're an OG, like fighting game, Final Fight kind of a dude or dudette, you're going to dig it. And February 25th, wow, Saints Row, the remake of the original, and Elden Ring. Wow. I mean, and that's just what we know is coming out. I think there's going to be at least 3 to 5 more games in that month. Talk about February becoming the new November. Who wants to jump in with that?
Yeah, I'll jump in. You mentioned you don't realize just how crazy it is until someone mentions a list. Well, I've actually got a topic on this exact thing for next year as well, not just February. I'm going to be discussing this on Wednesday for my crew, but not just February, but 2022 in general is just absolutely insane. So I'm going to rattle off some of the larger titles that are coming out next year so far, not including some of the smaller titles or indie titles, just the large ones. So A Plague Tale Requiem, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Bayonetta 3, Blood Bowl 3, Destiny 2 Lightfall, Destroy All Humans 2, Euden Chronicles, Evil Dead the Game, Exo Mecha, Far, Changing Tides, Forspoken, Ghostwire Tokyo, God of War Ragnarok, Goodbye Volcano High. Of course, we know that'll have a following. Gotham Knights, Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, Grid Legends, Hogwarts Legacy, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Marvel's Midnight Suns, Oxenfree 2, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time Remake, Rainbow Six Extraction, Redfall, Replaced, Skull and Bones, Somerville, Splatoon 3, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Cheer, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Callisto Protocol, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild sequel, Lord of the Rings, Gollum, Uncharted Lost Legacy Collection, Vampire the Masquerade, Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, Starfield, Test Drive Unlimited, Solar Crown, Stalker 2, Gran Turismo 7, Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, Triangle Strategy, Saints Row, Elden Ring, Sifu, Horizon Forbidden West, King of Fighters 15, Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires, Dying Light 2 Stay Human, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Monster Hunter Rise, and Life of Strange Remastered Collection.
All right, that's really quick.
You still think God of War is coming out in 2022?
It's currently scheduled. That's all I'm going to say.
To be fair, I don't think Suicide Squad's coming out either. And the last thing I'm going to say, just because I'm turning up the slander tonight, is you do notice them lists when half of them cost $70. But go ahead.
I was about to say these better all be in Game Pass, no? Because my wallet can't handle all that.
Well, I've just decided I'm going to start a job with Skip the Dishes after this one. No,
Yeah.
And that's so far as well. There's a lot of games as well that haven't been announced or haven't been kind of talked about yet.
That's a ridiculous list, dude. That's a ridiculous list.
It's just insane. It's just absolutely insane. And like I say, that's not including a lot of the indie titles and some of the second party stuff that isn't there either. That's just bigger titles.
So one thing though, that list is crazy. 2022 is going to be great, and the backlog is going to grow because knowing me, I'm going to buy all those games, and then the next thing's going to come out, and then they're going to end up in the backlog, and I'm not going to play them. So I need to take my own advice that I give everyone every week. You don't need to buy these games at launch. Wait until you're ready to play them, and all the bugs that they will inevitably launch with will be fixed, and the price will be lower by the time you get to it. There's that.
I got a tip for you, Everborn. Here's how you can make it simple for yourself. Get a dartboard, put all the games that you want to buy up on that dartboard, take 3 darts,
just throw darts.
That's the ones you're buying.
Well, see, the problem is if I do that, I'll get none of the games because I suck at playing darts. And I
there you go. You saved a lot of money.
Y'all end up in the carpet. What am I getting?
I can't see all these games coming out in 2022, regardless of the list that says that those are the launch type that they're coming out. Like, okay, these are launching in 2022. When these companies start to form the year in terms of releases, what they do is that they sit down. Some of them actually sit down and talk to each other. However, the ones that don't, they sit down and they map it out strategically, right? Same thing with Hollywood. Hollywood and DC are not going to release a movie on the same day. You don't think they talk to each other? Of course they, or at least they know.
Mac, let me add on to your point. That was one of the same things I was going to say. Did you notice that the MCU slate all moved around?
Everything
like Kevin Feige saw that Batman trailer and was like, you know what? We're just going to have to move Doctor Strange out of March. So I don't even think
Marvel movies. And they delayed Indy Jones by one
and
year.
Blade doesn't even have a date anymore, which is kind of scary.
Terrible.
Now, the thing is, I don't think all those games are coming out in February. We just don't know it yet. This is like before the devil knows you're dead.
But I mean, look, obviously.
What's that? Go ahead, brother.
No, I was going to say that. I mean, there's a good chance that a lot of those, maybe we only get half of those games. Horizon is definitely coming out for sure.
Yes.
I think Sifu is definitely coming out, and I mean that's a smaller indie title. But if you're an old G like me, you're excited for that type of game.
You know what I'm going to say as well? I'm still not sure whether or not Starfield hits that end year. I really don't. I'm really not sure.
Hey, Boom! You're not an old G. You're an original gangster.
Oh,
there you
okay. I mean, that's not that.
I appreciate last
that.
year.
Thank you, sir.
We had a show, it might have been around the same time as now, where we were talking about the exact same thing. Now, my memory, I cannot remember exactly which games we were talking about, but there were like 5 or 6 giant releases all supposed to come out in February of last year. The same thing happened. And then what ended up happening? Only 2 of them happened. And then one of them actually got moved up a month early. And I can't remember which bloody games they were for the life of me. Mind you, I'm like getting old and I drink a lot. So I don't even remember what happened 6 days ago. But anyways, that's
You're not getting old, Mag. You're getting seasoned.
Yes,
You're not
thank
old.
you very much. Yes, seasoned.
Hey, Mag,
well seasoned and well marinated, let me tell you.
Right. That's right.
Mag, think about this, though. Remember when The Medium was supposed to come out December 10th and then Cyberpunk took their date?
That's right.
And they were like, we have some technical problems and we're just going to have to push it back till February.
We technically can't see us fighting against Cyberpunk.
And then did they move it back to January?
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
Yes,
they did.
And that was the one that they moved actually out of February because February was an absolute mess. And then they ended up moving that out. And then 2 other games got delayed into the spring. And I can't remember which ones
Does Breath of the Wild 2 have a solid date yet?
I don't
Do
know.
we
Nope.
know?
Just slated 22 so far.
Yeah,
Because won't
I
that
can't
make a lot of
see
deck chairs move as well? I would imagine so.
I'm
That would-
gonna
No, I
listen.
don't
You
think
know, it's
so.
funny. We were having this conversation. I don't remember exactly where we were having it, but I said this. If you remember, Breath of the Wild 2 basically took Aloy's lunch
Yes.
in 2017, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen again, because I'm a diehard fan of that. I mean, it's my favorite new franchise for Sony, right? Like I'm a big fan of Horizon. But I got news for you folks. Even as big fan as I am, I would not pick up that game. If you said, "Listen, boom, it's one or the other, and that's it. We can't take. Can I take two?" No, it's you're gonna play one. It's gonna be Breath of the Wild 2. And no offense to to that team, and of course Horizon, because it looks amazing. But man, I'm not saying no to to Princess Zelda and Link. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I would.
see, that's where they got to get strategic, Boom. Because if you look at, like, for example, you've got they've got the Harry Potter game, even though Harry Potter's not in it, but we're just calling it that.
Well, you're gonna
whatever,
make
anyways.
your own character, but yeah,
Right, yeah. So, like, I mean, you're talking about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, right? We'll call it that. Now, you've got that game coming out, and you know that is sort of. I mean, besides people like me, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. But the
Me
thing
too.
is, they're targeting the same audience that would be going after a Breath of the Wild 2. Right. So they've got to sit down, and it's almost like this chess game where they're like, oh man, okay, Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out, whatever, April. Okay, April 6th, it's coming out. So they're going to say, all right, give it time to breathe, boys and girls. Let's move Hogwarts Legacy to March, or May, to give them some time, get the sales through, whatever else, blah, blah, because you're targeting around the same audience, or at least the same age with some people anyway. And so they got to be careful with all this stuff. I don't see, like, now the thing is, though, what you guys mentioned about February specifically, you've got Horizon Forbidden West, which is an action adventure game, sort of like an Assassin's Creed-ish kind of vibe, right?
Right.
You've got the Elden Ring, which is the roguelite sort of whatever, Souls thing, completely different audience, right? At least for the most part. So, like, you get like that I understand makes sense. The only one that kind of sits there, and I'm kind of worried about it, is Dying Light 2. Now, this is starting to fit into my theory that I think that Dying Light 2 at full sale price is going to get cannibalized by these other games. That's why I think it's even more important that it comes out in Game Pass in February.
Yes.
Now, the thing is, that would be a huge move for a lot of reasons. A, you've got a Sony AAA coming out, right? And you know how that goes. You know, once Sony game comes out, it's like they cured COVID overnight, right? So, you know, you gotta battle it somehow, regardless of how good the games are. Sony first-party games are great. You know, so, but the thing is, now you got this great game, possibly a great game, Dying Light 2, right? And then, if Xbox specifically first party doesn't seem to have anything coming out that month, what better way to get more exposure for that game? Because the first game was one of my favorite games of the last generation. And then on top of it, not only the exposure, you're gonna get the player base in there, which we hope Game Pass is well over 30 million at this point, right?
Yes.
That would actually bring the attention back to Xbox a little bit and take a little bit of that Forbidden West thunder. So that would be a big move, I think, for that February. Anyway, that's just me.
I mean, listen, all I know is that what we're starting to see is the delay bug is pushing all of these. Again, some of these games cannot be pushed into 2023. It just, for a lot of reasons, it can't. You know what I'm saying? They have to come out. It is going to be extremely important, and this is where the Game Pass scenario comes into question. Look, I'm a retired dude, right? Like, so I don't like, I used to work overtime for games, so people used to make fun of me at the precinct. Like, what are you here for? Oh, I'm gonna get a new car in the new year, or I'm going on that Hawaiian trip with my wife and my kids. Hey, good for you. What are you doing here? I'm working for games, dude. And I would and I would do these long 18-hour days and work weekends when I'd rather just be home gaming and chilling with Mrs. Boom. No, I'd be doing the overtime because I worked overtime to pay for these ridiculous years. And next year is going to be a big one. I don't know who was it. I think it was the slanderous one that said $70 games being half of these.
Mm-hmm.
If you're right, and half of these games are $70. I'm hoping the other half are in Game Pass, because there's no way that I'm personally going to be able to afford a lineup like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anyone could, for that matter, whether you're working or retired or otherwise.
Hey, I do want to just add another point, because every week now I'm just going to make it my business to give 343 their roses. Everybody, especially like back in 2020, everybody gave 343 all the shit in the world for delaying their game, for having the courage that Cyberpunk didn't have to delay that game to get it right. And everybody's like, oh, but everybody else is doing great things. What? COVID didn't affect anybody else. And it turns out almost all of these games that we're mentioning, 2022 is so stacked because everybody had to delay their 2021 games.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
It turns out it wasn't just 343 that had issues.
Yes.
Right? So like I said, just giving 343 a little bit more roses, because they had to go through the ring of fire, and it turns out everybody had problems. But anyway.
No, I mean, listen, you make a lot of sense, and you're absolutely correct. Listen, folks, we are an hour and 6 minutes into the show. We have another guest joining us, the Vengeance, the one packed with vengeance. You know him as the Dark Knight himself. You must be smiling from ear to ear. I mean, the fandom was not good. It was 4 hours of rubbish, but there were some sprinkles in there.
15 minutes of greatness, though.
15
4 hours of rubbish.
Of greatness. And look, I'm going to be honest with you.
Come on with the slander.
Got him. You gotta call a spade, as Pop used to say. But you know, again, that's an old card player terminology. The Batman trailer was just bananas. I mean, I wasn't too hot on Robert Pattinson being the Batman, because I like him. Pattinson.
No. He's called Battinson. That's
he's Battinson. Okay, with a B, not a P.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes.
I got you.
Yeah, Robert.
Well, after that trailer, I guess you can call him that. Welcome back there, Cyber. How you feeling?
Good. Glad to be here. Apologies that I'm late. I was coming. I was gonna be here on time. I got home, and my son decided to just sprint towards me, obviously, and slam right up against our island. So we had to take care of that. But he's fine. He just looked at me and he goes, "I'm vengeance," and I was like, "Oh, hey, okay."
Yeah. Oh, listen, like father, like
no,
son.
but he's okay. He's okay.
Cannot
he's
argue
fine.
that. Well, I'm glad he's
Just,
good. I'm glad he's okay.
Little bumps here and there we had to take care of, but I'm glad to be here. Let's get to it. I know there's a lot to talk about. So,
well, you know what? Let's get right into the skinny, so to speak, or into the weeds, as Boom likes to say, folks. Listen, I don't know whether or not you are into leaks, and I'm not a leaking kind of a dude, simply because we all want to be excited, but this particular leak regarding Halo Infinite's Season 1, which is going to be dedicated to Halo Reach, is just too juicy. Now, again, I did leave some things. I'm gonna put the Reddit link in the show notes. So if you want to go and you want to read the long, big old thing, you can do it. I happened to pull out a few things that I thought were interesting. Now, the Halo Infinite Season Pass contents. Now, again, folks, take this with a grain of salt. This is a leak. This could be. It looks too official to be made up, but again, take it with a grain of salt. 343 did not comment on this. No one from Microsoft commented on this. But I thought, again, there's a lot of information that was presented. And sure, could you have made this stuff up? Absolutely. But my God, if you did, you have plenty of time in your life. Get a job if you made this up. But we have learned that Season 1 is going to contain both free and paid tiers all the way through 120 levels. That's right, folks. From level 1 through 120 is going to be Season 1, and obviously it is going to be all about Reach. Halo Reach, one of the 343's last game. I mean, not 343, Bungie's last game, and obviously a game that is has a had a lot of heart for a lot of people. But here's the thing: one of the comments that one of the returning comments is that there are not going to be as much free items in the 120 levels as opposed to the paid levels. Like the paid, if you buy the season pass like you would for Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, or Fortnite, you obviously will get the paid content. Well, according to the leak, less than or just about less than half of the levels for free do not get any addition, any armor, any pieces, anything like that. You don't get anything like that. You simply just level up. And some people that when I was reading it on Reddit felt a little type of way about that. But again, folks, you're playing the game for free. If you don't get an armor visor or a helmet or a boot, tough titty, pay for the content. What can I tell you? You know what I'm saying? But I did pull out several of the one that really made sense to me as a fan. Right now, of course, again, there's 120 levels. I only have about maybe 7 or 8 of them. If you want to read the list, by all means, like I said, I'm going to put that in there so you could check it out. The first one
I'll actually add it to the chat. I'll put the link in the chat.
Oh, thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Definitely appreciate that. The first one that I saw that interested me was rank 9. It's an armor visor, and it's just called Noble. And it says in parentheses, tell them to make it count. Right? I hear talking in the background. Please, whoever that is, just mute that, please. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. The second one comes to us at rank 30. And that is it's an armor theme, and it says Carter A259 kit, and the quote is, "Are you cool under pressure and inspire confidence in your team?" Now, I believe Carter is going to be a full-on like a skin, right? Rank 40 comes to us as an armor FX called the Judgment Mantle, and it says here a mantle of vengeance, right? Rank 50 is an armor theme, and it says Jun A226 kit. Are you a rock under pressure with an eye for detail? If so, take on the appearance of Noble Team's legendary Woe, right? Rank 60 is a weapon death FX called Judgment Phoenix, ready to be reborn, is what the quote is. Rank 70 is an armor theme and says Catherine B320 kit. Are you an inspired tactician with a penchant for unauthorized decryption? If so, take on the appearance of legendary Noble Team LCDR Cat. And lastly, and this is the one that comes in at a level 120, it is the Armor FX, and it's called Judgment Crown, Burning with Conviction. Now, again, I couldn't read all 120 levels because we'd be here till tomorrow morning, but I want to get the panel's opinion on this. And we'll start first with our very special guest. Noof, you are always out there doing the community game nights. This is one of the reasons why we love you, dude, and I think that you're so well respected within the community. Hearing that there's going to be, obviously, Halo is going free to play for the first time in the franchise history. It's a big deal. It's such a big deal that I think that it is going to devour the lunches of Call of Duty, Apex Legends, and Fortnite because it's Halo. Now, obviously, they're going to be giving some free stuff away. There are some blues. There are a few purples in there, and there's several gold ones, and that's the tiers of the level of the items you'll get as you rank up. But half of the levels don't have any awards. Is that a problem?
No, No, I don't think so. I mean, we all know with Halo as well, it's going to evolve over time. So, despite there may be a few things obviously absent at launch, they will take community feedback into account, and this game will definitely certainly evolve over time. And they will see, where the demand is, how things are getting distributed, how much time various players are putting into the game, whether it's casuals that come in or the hardcore that stick around. So everything will be based evaluated statistically, and then they'll figure out what stuff should be free, what stuff is definitely going to be paid. And again, like I'm all for either method, as long as again you don't turn the game into a pay to win scenario. I mean, cosmetic stuff,
Right, I
armor,
think it's all cosmetic, to be honest with you. At least that's
sounds
what it
that
looks.
way.
That's what it appears to be.
Yeah, it
Yes.
certainly sounds that way. So I don't think it's a big deal. Thing is again, it's to keep evolving the content, keep it fresh. I mean, they do have a massive amount of competition out there in the first person shooter space, and certainly in the free to play space right now. And while I think Halo is going to be successful and be very huge, Fortnite, Call of Duty, whether you love them or hate them, they're nothing to sneeze at right now. Apex Legends as well. There's 3 or 4 games that basically have run the roost, and they sit atop of those, top stream games. So we'll see where Halo sits, probably by the end of January, in the first couple of months of launch, and you kind of come back and reevaluate it. So having things not quite up to stuff right now, it's not really a big deal. I'm pretty excited about what they're going to bring out. I don't see myself personally buying a whole lot of the content. Regardless, I just don't think I'm even going to play the game like that much compared to other people. I'll play it just, I'll definitely can't wait to get it on community game nights, and I'll be playing it, as much as I can. It's definitely going to be, I think, my new number one shooter overall. Certainly one of my favorite multiplayers moving forward. But, like I said, great on them. We'll just see how this thing evolves and folds out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, listen again. Maybe Halo's your thing. Maybe it's not your thing. For me personally, it is the one outside of a new Titanfall. It's the one shooter that I will make it my personal effort to find a way to play that game, and I'm going to be on every season pass. Like I've purchased a couple of Fortnite season passes, and I think I bought the first Apex Legend one. And like Apex never went back to. Call of Duty, I could obviously give a flying F about. And but Halo, man, that's the one that's going to get me to spend the money, because again, I don't even know if I'm ever going to get to a level 120. I mean, that's a lot of dedication when you consider how many games are out there. But it also depends on how they're gonna are they going to have, quadruple weekends where you get, XP, double XP, quadruple XP? I don't know. But let's bring in Kay Asante. Kay Asante, you and I, and obviously, many people in our, gaming circle had a chance to play, and we had a blast. I mean, we just had a complete blast. When you hear that, and again, this is speculation, folks. Season 1, we did know. I mean, they have confirmed, and I say 343 has confirmed that it is going to be dedicated to Reach, right? That we knew that already. So that's not new information. This stuff is. This tells me that we could really see some cool things to get you to spend your money, because I'm a big fan of Reach. Not my favorite Halo. Halo 3 is King Daddy for me.
You and me both.
Yeah, I mean, again, it came out on my birthday that year, so
okay.
There you go. But
to me, Halo 3 is peak Halo. I love Halo.
It is the best multiplayer I have ever played outside of like Titanfall 1. Like honestly, it is like literally my favorite multiplayer of all time. Hearing these, where we're going to potentially get skins, and again, folks, take it with a grain of salt. It is Reddit, but I'm just saying that it's so detailed, and this was data mined, right? Where do you fall on it? Will 343 get your 20 every time there's a new season?
So first off, if you haven't checked out the list, I put it in the chat. Go ahead and check that list. I think I'll posted it again. It is one hell of a list, boy. Let me tell you, if somebody faked this, they had a long time on their hands. They played around. Like it's a exhaustive list. As far as the free versus paid, so a quick analogy. I used to watch movies every week with AMC Stubbs A-List. In America, you pay your $20 a month or whatever, and you get. Every time I do that, I wouldn't mind buying popcorn because the movie comes built in. Right?
Hey, fun fact: check your credit card bill because they
they might still be charging. Yes.
No, they turned them back on. They turned them off for the pandemic. I
and they
just saw like a $23 charge. I was like, what the hell is this?
I specifically had to go in and cancel them because if you let them disable it, they figure you can go to the movies now and they'll turn it back on and start charging. So you need to watch out for that.
No,
but yes,
they got me.
That's what I do, right? If you have to spend hard-earned coin on the game, then every time there's a multiplayer or any kind of season pass, you're looking at it with the side eye, right? Fortnite benefits from that. Oh, jump in for free and then check out this cool Black Panther skin. I think I'll get that. Oh, check out this cool
Wolverine skin or Spider-Man skin or Predator skin or whatever.
100%. That's what they're doing here. So in this list, if you see a whole bunch of free nothing, what else you want? You got the base game and the multiplayer and all of the stuff you need to play. You're getting that for free. Right. So they got to make money somehow if they're going to keep bringing more content into the game. And how they're going to do that? They're going to give you cool skins and whatnot, right?
Yes.
They're not charging for Forge. They're not charging for any of those additional real content creators. All they're doing is charging for potential skins and whatnot. I think this is a great idea. I may not be the one that buys like every single season, but there'll be some that'll catch my eye. The Hayabusa armor and whatnot. I'll be there. And actually, believe it or not, this game, I'm more of a single player gamer, as I've said, but this game will, and you guys actually will bring me to this game far more than anything else. Because when we all jump on a team and we're all out there and we're doing it, there's no better feeling, than being with the team. You're all in the Warthog, and now of course we're all wearing different armor and we're all, very cool stuff. If there's anything that's going to get me to be spending more money on this game, it's exactly how Destiny gets people to spend money on the game.
Yes.
The clan, they're doing it, every week. If you're not part of the crew, and this is actually not even as egregious as Destiny, because if you're not buying that additional season pass, you're being left behind, right? Whereas in this case, you'll just be on your generic skin, whereas others will be able to diversify a bit more. But you're still all part of that team. You're still playing that same game. So I don't think it's that bad, and the folks that are kind of up in arms about this, I will say something about some folks having a bit of an issue, which I think I heard Jez Corden and Randall Thor, shout out to them, touch a little bit on that. Microsoft needs to get their policy in place as to what's free, what's charged, because this same kind of thing happened when people were talking about Forza Horizon 5. Oh, what part will be free? What part is DLC? What part are you paying for? And every time you go, well, it's supposed to be free or it's supposed to be paid, then they go, well, what about Hivebusters? That was free when it shouldn't have been, and they're absolutely right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's still a little bit of, they need to solidify their solid plan, but to live in a world where they give you the base game and most of the content for free, and then you pay here and there for the suits and the cool only skins, no pay to win stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. And this list looks exhaustive and it looks interesting. And yeah, I may be one that buys maybe 30-40% of it, depending on how much we all get in there. But no, I'd be down for sure. I think this is a great idea, and anybody who has a problem with it, just they're doing too much.
Okay, Your Honor, may I cross-examine?
Please cross-examine, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I have noticed that there are quite a few ranks where what you pay for is an XP boost. Is that, you don't have a problem with that? Isn't that kind of like paying?
Oh well, hold on.
Let me armor.
See. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And if that is an XP boost, and they deserve some righteous smoke for that, because that's the same kind of thing that Ubisoft has been doing in Assassin's Creed that I'm not a big fan of.
Right.
Yeah, I do see that. Like, let's see here, rank 61 currency XP boost. If that is righteous, 16. If that keeps happening, that's a little bit concerning, and we need to bring them some smoke.
But here's the thing. Maybe I'm reading it a different way from how I understand it is that you buy the season pass. Now, I believe it was Cyber that asked. They haven't given us a price, so I just assumed, and again, maybe I'm making an ass out of you and everyone else on the panel, that it would be $20. Let's just say, right? Which is standard fare for these things, right? You pay your $20, and you have the right to get 120 levels and get all the 120 levels worth of shit if that's what you want. Now, if there's side pieces, if there's side content that you can buy, like let's say for instance a different skin of this character, I would imagine in Fortnite that's up to you to do so, because they do have in Fortnite specifically, you can get season pass 7, whatever it is, and then they have all this other really cool stuff where they bring back older cool stuff like Captain America. You want the skin, you can go and buy it for $20, and if you want to spend that $20, that is on you. I was under the impression, looking at this list, that this entire list that you can gain by playing the game comes at that $20 price point. And
so that I understand you correctly, what you're saying is this entire list would be just season 1's offering.
Correct, for paid content. You pay your $20 and you get all 120 levels.
So once you get to that rank, then it unlocks that for you. So
correct.
If you haven't gotten to level 61, there's no way you're getting that XP boost because you haven't gotten to level 61.
That is
everyone that gets to level 61 will get that XP boost.
Yes.
So it's technically not paid to win. Really.
Okay,
No.
and when they say currency, do they mean money or are they saying in-game currency that you've
in-game?
Okay.
Remember we tested that out even during the Halo Infinite beta. They threw some in-game currency at you.
All right, I retract my line of questioning, Your Honor.
You are overruled, sir. Overruled.
I mean,
the thing is, as well, though, and I want to jump in on that. The thing is,
jump, please, by all means. I was going to call on you next, Dutch. I mean, obviously, you obviously did something that no one. I mean, we talked about it. Asante talked about it. You gathered over a dozen people.
Man, it was awesome.
I'm
still thinking about it.
It's what the game is made for, right? It is. I mean, as podcasters, we have a lot of circles. We have a lot of friends. This looks like this is going to be one of those games that we could even eventually find 12 of us versus 12 of them that all run in the same circles, and we're just laughing, killing the hell out of each other. This is what this game is going to bring. This is why it's so important. What do you want to add to the conversation of the 120 levels for Season Pass 1?
You know what? I'm going to compare it straight to the way that the seasons currently work in Master Chief Collection. The MCC stuff, which they've just released, is convoluted, difficult to understand. There is no real progression list there. You don't understand what you've got to do to get the progression, or what you've got to do to unlock things, or how you unlock them. You just go up levels gradually over time. There is no real progression there. So looking at an exhaustive list of all the stuff that happens over time on MCC, it takes forever to unlock all the Season 8 stuff. So I'm not even going to bother even attempting that. As beautiful as some of that armor looks in MCC for Season 8, I'm not going to have the time to put into it to unlock it before Infinite releases. On the flip side, however, having played Infinite and leveled up a character to, I managed to get to level 15 in the 2.5 sessions that I played. I unlocked about 7-8 armor pieces and different colors and visor colors and attachments and armor pieces. And it wasn't just a little bit of armor piece. It was like an arm here and a shoulder pad and a chest plate and different helmet, different visor, different skin for weapons. And the currency that you do get is, again, all used for cosmetics. Nothing you get, nothing, even if they did have currency you could purchase with real money, it doesn't affect anybody anyway from a pay-to-win perspective, as you've mentioned. Nothing on there was pay-to-win. Everything, all the XP and everything that went towards it was going towards skins or armor attachments just to make you look pretty or look better or look cool. Nothing was there to provide a difference in game. Nothing provides you a difference in game, just makes you look nicer, makes you stand out from the crowd, etc. So, I mean, another benefit that I think, and it's not that people forget, but that they do that stands out from the crowd, is the fact that you're able to purchase a season pass, regardless of when that season pass comes out, and use it whenever throughout the lifespan of Halo. So if you're jumping into Halo Online 6 months down the line and you didn't play it at launch, you're not going to miss out on that day one first season because you can go back,
And
purchase
you know
that
how
season
rare
pass,
that
and
is.
go into it.
Speak on that. You know how rare that is. A lot of free-to-play games don't do that. You miss it, it's gone. You won't ever get it again until you pay for it separate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're able to literally at any point in time say, right, okay, well, I want to go and get that armor from season 2, so you can purchase season 2's thing. And again, later down the line, that season pass might not be $20. It could be reduced to like $5 because it's old. It's old hat. So you might be able to pick it up afterwards. And
let me ask you a question, Dutch. So if let's say we're on season 3 and then I go back and I buy season 1, right? I mean, so how does the level? So does that mean when I hit level 35, I'll get what's in season 135 plus what's in season 3's 35?
You start the season 1 altogether because, of course, from level 1 to level 35 in season 1, you then have to do different challenges to unlock whatever it is throughout season 1. Same applies for season 2, season 3, etc. So you go back and you start the progression towards that season pass, and you can activate them or deactivate them at any point, but you don't lose the progression on each one.
So Everborn, I think to answer your question, you can stack them. So let's say you start at season 3, but you also want to benefit from season 1. You can buy both 3 and 1 and elevate them both at the same time. If one is active, it's the one that's active that you're working towards.
Okay, so you activate which season you're working on,
Precisely.
and then your progression will be there. Okay, one other thing I want to point out, just because you're talking Dutch, and you gave us that amazing list, right, of games that are coming out in 2022. Now, I see a lot of people that are upset that half the ranks don't give you anything, and what if you play and you run out of stuff to do? How are you going to run out of stuff to do with all them damn games coming out in 2022? I'm just trying to figure it out.
But it's not even that though. Like if you have a look just from the small segment of gameplay that we managed to get in that flight, like we got 4 maps out of 23, and we got like 3-4 game modes out of 8 or 9 that we're going to get like at launch. So you got 8 or 9 game modes across 23 maps. I mean that's. That's just at launch. That's not including like a season 2 or a season 3 or anything that leads into like the first part of 2022. Right. You're not going to run out of things to do online in that game in the first couple of months. Not in the hope in hell. It's just physically impossible.
I mean, just look. I mean, all you have to do is just look at how people play Apex Legends or Call of Duty. I mean, they're playing for day because again, it's a different crowd. They're playing. I'm sure that there's going to be a subset group that wants to play for these incredible awards. Somebody's going to want that crown that's burning, that's twisted to the side like Biggie, right? Everybody's going to want that. I would want that. Am I going to be able to put 120? To get to level 120, I honestly don't know. Will I get to at least 50? Probably, but it really depends. But I mean, again, this is the kind of they're jumping into the pool where what we're talking about really shouldn't even be a question because it's already going on 3 major games that take up a huge part of the conversation when it comes free to play.
Hey, not just that, Boom, but me personally speaking, I'm an avid player of MMOs. And as far as I know, I'm no video game historian, but MMOs were one of the first genres to really implement a free-to-play model. And they had to out of necessity when they did it. And just take it from me, those games that have free-to-play models, but then have their premium pass, if you will, they were so oppressive on the free model. If you were a fan of the game when they decided to go free to play, you had to buy their premium pass due to gameplay changes, cosmetics. I mean, you name it. In so many games, the free version is kind of like the womp womp. It almost sucks to play.
And some of them you get the massive level caps as well. Like you can't progress higher than a certain amount.
Yeah, honestly, this from my perspective, this implementation of the battle pass is good. It's honestly great. I mean, I don't think Microsoft is going to look at this battle pass as the main means that they're going to make money. Hold on one second.
That's all right. I mean, listen,
Sorry,
that's
my children.
That's okay, brother. Talk through it, brother. Listen, listen. We don't have a studio, folks. We're podcasting out of our homes. I mean, it's a reality. But I mean, obviously, I'm glad you jumped in, because if there's anyone that could answer that question and bring sense to the conversation, first of all, let me just say this: if you're one of these gamers, I won't say people. Don't never say you people. Don't ever do that. That's a terrible thing to say.
What do you mean, you people?
Hello, exactly. Actually, someone said that to my wife. This racist piece of what? But, but we won't go there. But listen, of course, we handle it like champs. If you're a gamer that has the audacity to be like, wow, something, half them are only pay. I'm only getting half stuff, and I didn't pay a dime. Look in the mirror and slap the shit out of your face, because nobody wants you here.
Let me quote Philly Eagle here.
Yes,
he had a great comment. He said, "People complain just to complain, except when they should be complaining."
Hello, thank you very much, Philly Eagle, champion of justice. from the city of brotherly love. There you go.
Another thing about the season passes as well, though, and I'm sure this is what they kind of try to do, is they try to be transparent on what you're kind of getting with these battle passes before they come out.
I think that's fantastic.
You know exactly what you're going to get, so you can essentially pick and choose. So obviously later on down the line, you can kind of pick and choose which ones you want to get, and even when they release them, if there's nothing within that battle pass that really tickles your fancy, then you don't have to buy it.
Right.
If there's no, like, if you look at the armor and you go, nah, that's not mine. I'm still waiting for I'm waiting for the samurai one, or I'm waiting for the Viking one, or I'm waiting for this Spartan, like whatever it is.
You mean
kind
it's
of
not a slot machine loot box?
No, it's no.
Oh,
no.
And actually, if you look at the list, the higher you go up the list, the paid stuff, the free stuff also becomes pretty good. It's just at the beginning, they make only the paid stuff useful. But once you hit to like level 60, even the free tier starts getting armor. The free tier starts getting. It may not be as good as the paid tier, but hey, you're getting free 99. Shut up and play your game.
I'm just having flashbacks to that one raid I did, Vault of Glass in Destiny, and ended up not getting anything, but
getting
after putting in 500 hours, and then my son gets the Galahorn. But that's neither here nor there, Destiny.
I love Galahorn.
Stop throwing shade, man. Stop throwing shade.
RNG loot is hilarious.
Boom was saying it would be about probably $20. I actually think that it's probably going to be more like 10. My reason being is they're going to make their money off of Halo one way or another. They're going to have a TV show. There's merchandise, you name it. They're going to make money. And if they have other optional cosmetics besides the one in the season pass,
and they probably will. You can actually buy those.
Right. They're going to make their money that way. Also, a very popular thing to do. It is shocking how many people will open a battle pass and want to be the first person to have said thing at the back of the battle pass. There are people that are literally going to buy the battle pass and then pay to skip all those tiers to get the thing first, right? So they're going to make their money. But I think the smart thing to do would be use Halo as a means, make it so good, put interesting things in there. I hope that for the ultimate version of Halo, you rather get a big discount or the battle pass comes for free, the paid one. And to me, if they're updating it constantly with new seasons, be the perfect reason to keep people into Game Pass. They want Game Pass subscriptions more than anything else. I mean, that's boosting.
Hey, Tempest,
everything.
Tempest, you are so right. And those people you were talking about are me. Because I keep telling people I don't have FU money, but I don't have time for this shit money.
Yep.
And I will buy those things. I'm telling you right now.
No, and you're absolutely right, Tempest. I can see a world where they throw you a free month of in your Ultra, right? And a recent, a recent weird aside. A very weird aside we don't have to talk about, but after being purchased by Sony, Crunchyroll is now offering a free month on Xbox
Yeah,
Game
that's
Pass.
ain't that
Weird, but continue. I can
Yeah.
see a month of, hey, let's throw you a battle pass if you happen to be a,
You know,
an
I'm
ultimate member.
I'm actually very interested into something that I think the entire panel, maybe even the chat, has overlooked, and I want to go to Middle Age Gamer Guy.
Yeah.
Tempest Sun said something very interesting. I said $20. He said, no, I think it's going to be 10. What if Microsoft is really slapping it around and they say, you know what? We're going to come in half of what Apex and Call of Duty and Fortnite are charging for their battle passes. It's $10. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's funny because as soon as one of Tempest's last points there was exactly what I was planning on getting into. Was not really getting into. I was more of a question of what's going to happen for Game Pass Ultimate subscribers. Not now. The thing is that if you think about it, you're like, okay, Halo Infinite, I get it. The multiplayer is free to play, and if you have Game Pass, you're getting the campaign,
right?
And I'm like, all right, that's fine, that's great, but it almost seems like maybe that extra tier of that Game Pass Ultimate will give you something more than that. And what I could see there is maybe they will give a discount to them, to see Game Pass Ultimate members, or it depends on the longevity of the multiplayer. Now, we're talking, like, I understand it's going to be big at launch. Okay, I get it. There's a huge Halo community and everything else. But if they want those numbers to climb even higher, what better way to, and they want more people into Game Pass, what better way to do that if they've already got their hooks in you with the multiplayer? I think the best way to do that is maybe 50% off, or even at some point, just like even what Asante was saying, give them a month for free, right? Like for example, what happened when I bought my the Xbox headset, right? They gave me 6 months of Dolby Atmos for free. Or whatever the hell it is. Not Dolby Atmos. Was it Dolby Atmos? Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
Sorry, Dolby Atmos. I was right.
You get a free card for 6 months. Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
I happen to have already bought it for $20, so I didn't need it, but it's good to get it for free. Why not?
Well, see, it's like a drug dealer. Give them a little bit. Let them have a taste.
That's right.
Let them have a taste. Let the people in the neighborhood have a taste, and then all of a sudden everybody's coming back, right? So that's what they did with Dolby Atmos. And guess what? My 6 months expires this month. I'm going to buy it. Yeah, because now I can't live without it, right? So I could see them doing that for Game Pass Ultimate specifically, and give it to them. And then to say, okay, listen, here's a month, maybe 2 months, whatever. And then all of a sudden you get it like, wow, this is fantastic. I can't go back to that free-to-play model anymore. And then that's it. They got you hooked. I could see that happening. Now, another thing, I wanted to break down quickly some of these things. 120 tiers. That just shows you that this is going to be deep. Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
This is going to be deep. It's going to be involved, and it's going to keep people there. Now, there's something else I'm going to pull on it here, is that Dutch was saying, he was talking about the MCC specifically, and it sounds to me, anyway, the way I interpreted what he said is that it's going to be a long, grindy progression, at least in the MCC. Now, if they're doing it in that game, I can't see them doing anything different here. However, I think that's a mistake. I think that they should make the progression a little bit easier, because there is the fear.
The one thing I'll say there straight away, Mag, is that's the comparison I was trying to make. The small section that we got in the Infinite Test Flight of the progression was so much easier and so much more simplified than it is in MCC. Like MCC just is, you don't know what you're doing, how to progress, where the progression's coming from.
You've got to be a complete Halo effing nerd to know all that shit. Like, I mean, like, let's be real. You know, like, I know guys who know, I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, I played all the Halo games and I have no idea what these guys are talking about, because they like literally live and breathe Halo, right? But anyways, the thing is, you're okay. Well, if that's the case, that's even better, because what you're going to do, there's a fear of losing the casual market. Okay, I will bring it up in examples. For example, my son plays Fortnite, whatever. He's only 9. Right, and my daughter plays it as well. And now they got the season pass. I think it started first week of September, so about a month ago, give or take. He doesn't play that much. He plays a couple hours a day, whatever, when he's done school or when he's done his homework, all that kind of stuff, right? And he'll play a few hours and go to bed. He's already at a level 104. Okay, wow. The new season is not coming out for like months from now. He's already blown the 100 level cap. He's already got the new Carnage like skin and all that stuff for hitting level 100, everything else. And he's a 9-year-old kid, right? So if you want to get that crowd, you want to get that Fortnite crowd, that kind of thing, you want to get them over there. I know some people probably don't like what I'm saying right now. They're like, "Oh, you're turning it into a casual game." You got to find.
No, you have to appeal. Listen again, the Halo fans, the Halo heads, they're going to come rushing to this. But you also want to attract new people. There's a reason why the Master Chief skin made it into Fortnite, dude.
Right. And like you want to find a happy medium then. Not too simple, but not MCC ridiculous.
Yes.
Right? So I think that would be good. Now, for me personally, I looked up a few articles and I was checking it out just to see what other people, get a temperature of what's going on, a gauge what's going on in the community, whatever. And a lot of sites now are talking about how they're thinking that the free tier system is a little bit too stingy as to their rewards. And they're saying, well, the paid pass is obviously going to get the good stuff. I mean, let's be serious here. I mean, that's not a surprise to anybody that's going to happen, right? I mean, you pay money for something, okay? You're always going to get better quality. Someone hands you a free pair of shoes versus a pair of shoes you buy. Obviously, the ones you buy are going to be better quality, right? So anyways, that and then the Noble Sacrifice, I believe it was the one it was called. That's the first season, right? The first
Yes.
Noble Sacrifice. Yes. I'm interested in this the Judgment Crown.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Boom. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I really want it because apparently it has a burning effect.
It does.
So I'm
it's
going
an
to look
FX effect. Yes.
I could look like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. I'm just be like running around with flames coming off me, right? So I'm like, okay, well, this is gonna... exactly right.
Well,
so
I mean, you remember the burning helmet that everyone was trying to get in Halo? I think it was 3. It was the flaming head, right? That was like a big. They're going to bring those things back, and you know something? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm right there with Everborn and everyone else. I'll just buy it.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Like, for example, like even Fortnite, for example, if you want to buy a season pass in Fortnite, you can actually pay a little bit extra, I believe, and you could skip like 20 levels or 25 levels right off the bat. Right. So it'll send you from 0 all the way to 25 just to get you moving, get a couple of those skins going if that's your thing, right? So, I mean, I could see something like that happening there where they could just kind of boost you through like maybe a quarter of it or something like that. Like if you don't have the time, sure, go ahead. But I'm very interested to see the financial breakdown of how they're going to work this with Game Pass Ultimate.
So, Mac, real quick, let me add something to you, and this is for you. October 27th, 2015 is when Halo 5 released.
Yes.
By February 22nd, 2016, there was an article that they'd made $1.5 million on microtransactions alone from Halo 5.
Yeah, they also sold like 10 million copies by then, or like 9.5 million.
Yes, and that was sold. Sold. Whereas this will be completely free.
Now,
exactly.
Now, here's the thing: the variables are so much different though now, because in 2015 there was no Game Pass. In 2015 there was no Fortnite. 2015, there was no Apex Legends.
Right. Yeah, they hadn't trained enough people that this was normal. They hadn't trained people that well yet.
Right. And so, but like the way that it is now, it completely changed the face of this free-to-play gaming. And now they're taking these big franchises and turning them into free-to-play.
Yeah.
Right?
Because Halo's launching on PC and Xbox all at the same time. It's going to be like 5 to 10 million people at the gate easy.
Easily. Yeah. So they also have to be very careful too. They have to look at obviously that, it's not like they're sitting there talking out of their ass like, oh, we'll just do this without looking at what the competition's doing. Obviously they have entire teams dedicated to that. So I'm very interested, but I am, like I said, once again, I'm very interested to see how they're going to break this down for whether you're just playing for free on your cell phone or whether you, purchase the game or whether you're consuming it through Game Pass or at the same time, a Game Pass Ultimate subscribers, if they give them a little extra something, so that they can boost.
Imagine if they have like special skins that you can only get.
That they can boost Game Pass subscriptions, right? If you get people who get caught, like I said, they get their hooks in you, and all of a sudden you're like, this game is fantastic, right? Oh, I love this. It's a lot of fun. My friends and I are having a great old time. How does that guy got all the cool stuff? Oh, he's on Game Pass Ultimate. And it's not like if you pay Game Pass Ultimate, you're only getting Halo. You're getting like 500 other games
You look at Apex Legends, like even trying to get a character in that game, it takes an awfully long time to get a character unless you buy them, and you're basically giving next to nothing out of the gate. You're getting like what, 4 or 5 characters, and everything else is basically behind the paywall. You can access them for free, which is great, but like I don't have the time to attain those characters I want. So guess what happens if I want to play that game? I'm buying those characters, and that's going to happen with this game and pretty much every other game moving forward. That's how they're going to do it. Is they're going to keep dangling the bait in front of your eyes to kind of keep going. Yeah, I want that. I want that. I want that. And then eventually, like I said, most people either they're going to just plunk it because they love the game, or they're going to just give in at some point and just buy some stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a fantastic point. Everborn Saga, you're the man around town when it comes to business. I mean, again, I'm going to be honest with you. I think they're going to make money hand over fist because it's Halo. I put it to this way: if I have to wait till level 73 to get the Hayabusa armor, well, then I'm just spent another $20 or $30 because I want that armor day one. I'm not even going to front. Like, I don't have a lot of money to be thrown away like I used to. But for a game like this, they'll get me to spend the money. What are your thoughts on the complaint that half of the levels don't contain items for the free free gamers that don't want to pay?
Well, as they say, you got to pay the cost to be the boss.
That's correct.
The thing is this: it's not so much. I think it's the wrong way to think about it as half the levels you don't get anything. It is just that you get things at certain levels, right? Now, obviously, all of the paid stuff that you can get, you can go buy those, or you can use the in-game currency to get it. But what's it called? Like so if we say, okay, I'm going to give you a gun when you reach level 10, right? That doesn't mean I need to get a gun or a piece of armor on levels 2 through 8, 2 through 9, right? Like it is just you get things at certain tiers, right? So you're gonna have to build up to get that, and this sort of participation award stuff, we don't need that, right?
I just think that it's that list looking long down the line where it shows free nothing over and over again. That's what's making people, that's what's triggering people.
Yeah, but they're getting the game for free already. Exactly, so how much free does one person?
No, but it's not that, right? You get things at certain levels. You just don't. So again, if I get a piece of armor at level 10. And then I get another piece of armor at level 16. I just have to. Would you prefer that they had 60 levels that just took longer to go through? Right? It does. Just think about it. There's 60 rewards in this season, right? For on the free side, right? So so just because they're saying you're leveling up, you just have to gain this amount of XP before you can get that next reward in the free tier. And if you're willing to pay for some of the things, they'll take your money, right? Yeah. So you really just have to think about it as it's not that half of them you get nothing, it's that there are 60 rewards for that, 60 free rewards for that season, and that's it. And look, I don't know, like I get it. Like the Halo fan base is crazy, and I'm one of those crazy people, right? Like they're insane. You can ask OBM. I'm not making this up, but a lot of these people complaining are the same people that have been complaining from day one, and they were gonna complain about something if it wasn't about this. So for me, I just kind of think. I think it seems well laid out, and I don't think I'm going to get through. I'm going to make it to level 120 before they release the next season, because I have a job. But I think people, you can't complain until you see that the progression feels like something. Looking at that list, I don't think tells you a lot other than it's the transparency of what you're going to get in it. But if the progression doesn't feel good, then they'll adjust it.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. It's not you haven't been in the thick of a season yet to know the progression doesn't feel right yet. How do you know how long it takes you to get from level 10 to level 16 when the next prize is? Right?
They were throwing a lot of levels at you during the multiplayer test, so
this is what I'm saying.
Presumably, you could blow through that relatively quickly. You don't know, yeah.
Right,
well,
and that's
rewarding. People will continue playing, right?
Exactly.
And
it's all about rewarding your
Call of
continued
Duty
play.
levels up. It's addictive. You're like, oh, level 4, level 5, level 6. Oh man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you might have a great match and go up 2 levels in that one match.
Have you seen Battlefield? Play Battlefield 4. It take you 5 days to go up 1 level, and you're like,
and see,
good luck with that.
That's another problem that they did in Avengers, where they nerfed the XP that you get. Which, I mean, that game shouldn't be a service anyway, so don't get me started on it. But you know, if they're not doing that, this is the thing. We can't complain about it now until we're playing it. If the progression feels off, then give them the smoke. We're not there yet, right?
Yeah,
let the thing come out and then complain if it don't feel good.
Yeah,
or spend that I don't got time for this shit money.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be one of those people. You know what? Lastly, before we get on out of here, got to get Cybernox's opinion. Cyber, you are a big player of Call of Duty. A lot of people don't know that you play with your friends almost as much as your family time allows you to do. Which you know, again, you know, family time is the best time. So you know, you got to take that first. But with that said, how does, in your opinion, what we know is coming for season 1 compare to how Call of Duty does it?
I think it's a little bit different. I think Halo, the challenge that Halo has, if you wanted to compare it 101 to existing battle passes now, is not like Call of Duty will offer you different guns, right? That you can, as you progress through the battle system, a battle pass system that you can actually use, and those are some guns that actually have some benefits, or you know, some cosmetics and things of that nature that you only unlock during the battle pass. With Halo, only having cosmetics and that being, you know, visors, you know, armor plates, and you know, things of that nature, it makes it a little bit more challenging. Also, when you buy a battle pass, I think you guys did mention it. I'm not sure how they're going to go about it. $10 would potentially unlock the battle pass for everyone. You can pay, you know, $20 to, kind of like what Mag said. You know, you skip
level
20,
up, jump 25, 50 levels, whatever. Yeah.
The thing that surprised me the most is I think they're choosing to go the Destiny method, in which is you're gonna have to buy your battle pass every season. You don't earn free coin. I didn't see it on that list where you earn free coins that you can potentially, if you level up up to level, let's say in Halo, up to level 120, you've gained enough coins in the battle pass system itself that the next battle pass will be free. You know, a lot of games do that. Warzone does that. I think Fortnite does that. Not all of them do it. I know Destiny doesn't do it. I think I haven't played Apex in a long time, but I would say that Apex does it as well. I think that's a missed opportunity. It gives people an incentive to stay there and complete the battle pass, because they know if they complete it, they're gonna get one.
Their next one is free.
The next one is free.
Well,
So
hold
technically,
on.
you buy
One quick statement from me here. Now that you say that, if you notice, some of the free tiers just say currency, and then they say re-roll ×4 or ×3.
Yes.
I'm assuming the re-roll is the credit you get to re-roll and get some of the stuff back if you wanted something else, but you do get currency there, though. That could be currency you're building up to potentially do what you're talking about here.
Right.
Now that you're saying that, I do see a bunch of that in there.
Let me
If
tell you
they
something.
do reach the highest peak on the highest level on that battle pass, then essentially they would even get more than enough to buy the next battle pass next season free, and they'll even have some left over that they can, you know, put it towards some cosmetics or something like that they want. Also,
I'm learning this. I didn't even know this. Oh, that's real cool.
Something that I didn't see as well, when you buy a battle pass, let's say in Warzone, because that's the one I play the most, for that season, they have a specific theme, right? Which whatever it may be. So as soon as you unlock it, you get automatically 4 or 5 things from that season, including a character. right? I didn't see that here. Like I said, this is a list. It's not, it's not confirmed or
Again, this is
anything. So,
this is a data mine leak. This isn't an
right.
official release. So what we have to take into account here is that this was data mined by someone. This is what they found. But everything that you're saying, Cyber, could in fact be
Absolutely.
there at day one. We're just going based on the leak, the data mine leak.
And something that Tempest brought up, and then Asante alluded to, and so did Mag, was, Game Pass Ultimate subscribers. They're probably leaning that way a little bit more too. Like, hey, we rather you spend $15 here on Game Pass and you use some of these perks that we're going to offer you for Halo Infinite, than you just keep spending money on Halo.
And don't forget those Microsoft rewards.
Yeah,
that's what I'll be using to buy these
Microsoft. I told you guys that as well too.
That's the only reason I have Bing as my default search engine.
You and me both, brother.
I'll
you
tell
turn
you guys.
Around, you got all this credit. It's amazing.
I'll tell you guys more trick about that after. But also one thing that we don't know about yet is how is the progression, like how does the XP actually gonna work in game? How is the XP that you win on matches gonna convert to your battle pass? Is it kills? Is it assists? Is it wins? All of these variables that are gonna come with the battle pass. I just hope they have a good handle on, because we all know that on Halo, if you have a good squad, that's great, but most of the time, the way you work together, you're gonna get some kills, but you're gonna get a ton of assists as well. So which one are they gonna? Is it just going to be a one-on-one thing, or is it? We don't know any of that yet. But I agree with Everborn. These are all, as of right now, everything is all speculation. So when the game comes out, we're going to see, and hopefully with each battle pass, they'll continue to grow and evolve and understand exactly what the community wants.
Yeah, they need to get the challenges right, like what you need to aim for between matches. That's one of the key things. I think that's one of the most concerns about kind of the battle passes, is what challenges are they going to give people to achieve experience.
Yeah,
like is it all going to be
120 tier? Man, that's a long list.
A lot of challenges.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Let me tell you, because a lot of them go up to 100, and it takes a long time. It takes a lot of dedication. And if Halo is, it's gonna be exactly what it's promising to be, good, a lot of people will stay on that game.
Yes,
but there are a lot of shooters coming out as well that have been here, that demonstrated that, hey, a lot of people do love our games, they do enjoy our games, and they're gonna stay here. And they're gonna buy our battle pass, and they're gonna dedicate their time towards our game. So what's Halo gonna do, and what's Halo gonna offer to get some of these players out so they can dedicate their time towards the Halo battle pass rather than the Destiny or the Apex or the Warzone or the Fortnites, So
it's going to be interesting. And again, I'm from what we understand and what they've talked about, is each battle pass, like many others, are going to be themed. Now I don't know if there's going to be crossover themes. Could you imagine getting a Gears armor in Halo? Yes, please.
Yeah. See, now you're talking.
Give me a Carmine. Give me a Dom.
crossover.
Yes,
Doom guy. Come on,
Doom guy. Oh my God, yes. So I mean, it's going to be interesting. But folks, listen. We've hit the 2-hour mark. I got to thank Elemental PO, good friend, generous friend of the show. He drops a $5 super chat and says, enjoying the show, gentlemen. By the way, if you haven't seen the latest ILP podcast on Sunday, then you need to. Their best interview yet. Yeah, it's going to be, it's in the slot for cleaning the house tomorrow. And I usually listen to their show on Tuesdays. I'll be catching up with that. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the shout out to ILP. Those are my brothers. And folks, thank you so much. We had over 300 people here today. That's a big deal. We're going up against some heavy competition. Again, YouTube is a packed, vast talent pool. And we're glad that we had over 200 people stay for the end of the show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting that like button. Let's get everyone out of here. And we're going to start first with our guest. He did bring his, I don't want to say the word, paws into the screen. Nukem. Your kitty does look like the cat from Alien, if you are a fan of that original film. Looks just like it. Tell everyone not only about your Tuesday show, but your Sunday morning Xbox show, where you have incredible panels on both. And tell everyone where they can reach out to you on social media, brother.
You bet. Well, Boom, I had to stroke something during the show.
Ah, very nice.
Oh.
Save it for Tuesday.
Anyway, thanks for having me here. It's always been an honor to be with you guys and this fantastic panel. A great chat, interesting topics once again. You can find me pretty much everywhere, and of course, when I'm not with Mag on Gaming After Dark, which we will have tomorrow night, we have this lovely gentleman here, Kay Asante, joining us for the first
Very
time
nice.
tomorrow night.
I'll be playing that pause game a
Hell
lot, I
yeah.
suspect.
Looking to have him there. Paw Patrol. And also we'll have Chris Jones joining us as well, so this should be fun. And then, of course,
Nice.
Good Morning Xbox on Sunday, self-explanatory. And I'm just going to leave it with this. I want to say this was a great panel. When they're always looking in the background, but you've got a great show here. Keep up the great work. It's awesome to be here. Everybody always has something great to contribute here. Unlike Noof Nukem, I don't know why he even exists anymore, but that's another story. But anyway, you guys, you have a great evening. We'll see you later. Tony Baloney, I'm coming for your ass soon here, buddy. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. Have a great night.
Thank you so much
That
there,
is the
Arnie.
best
Definitely appreciate you being here,
Arnold
brother.
Schwarzenegger
Indeed.
impression.
Yeah,
For
honestly,
sure.
they should have
I've
used
ever
him for
heard.
Mortal Kombat.
Okay,
honestly.
hold on. I honestly thought you always had actual Arnold on the show. I didn't know it was just Noof Nukem here.
I wish
What
I
the
had that
heck?
kind of connection.
Listen, you know what? Boom's got the bucks. I have that. I don't have the time for this shit money, as everyone said. But listen, let's continue with, of course, the outros. Kay Asante, fantastic show this Saturday. If you missed it, it was you and, of course, Everborn on the Gaming Circle podcast, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. You also got On the Reel, and obviously you can lay that on his doorstep. Tell everyone they can reach out to you on social media, but more importantly, check out your weekly show.
Sure, thank you. This was always great to start my Monday off with this. This is always probably one of the highlights of the week for me. So
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. It's always so much fun.
And he does 2 shows with me.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I'm just
Exactly.
thinking
There's less
of a
slander.
Michael.
There's
I'm
less,
thinking of a
And
Michael
this is
Jordan
this is
meme
the
right
highlight.
now.
and
How
this
do
is the
you feel,
highlight
Everborn?
because the slander levels are so low on the show. It's always good to just camaraderie and But anyway, before we continue, no. So it's always so much fun being on this show. So as has been mentioned, I will be on Gaming After Dark tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome. I was supposed to be on a couple weeks ago, but life happened, and now we're gonna correct that. So I appreciate Noof Nukem for inviting me. It's gonna be fun. I suspect we'll be playing that pause game pretty frequently tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. And let's see now. Now I know Thursday we're gonna be doing On the Reel. A lot of DC talk will happen there as well, right? I'm sure Everborn will have more to say on that. And of course, last week we did the Gaming Circle podcast. We had a whole bunch of fun talking Nintendo, a lot of slander on that episode. Thank you, Boom, for coming and defending. and we're still in the middle of thinking of the next shows. I'm trying to do stuff with VR. It's just such ridiculous setup. There's so much setup.
Very
it's just,
difficult. Yeah.
But I'm still ideating, as it were. I want to make it. I want to show it off in its best light. So we'll talk about that. But thank you guys so much. You can find me TKO Asante on Twitter, on PlayStation, on Xbox. I appreciate a bunch of people checking out the shows. I've been getting a lot of really cool comments in the comment sections and all that. And once again, I will here show my appreciation. I am not worthy of so much of his kindness. The Wandering Dutch blessed me with beautiful intro and also outro music,
man.
which he has also given me, which we'll add for next week. Thank you, kind
Very
sir.
nice.
I appreciate it more than you know. So yes. Everybody, please hit that like button. So many people were in this show, were on this show today in the chat. Show some love. Hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I'm sure you guys will see us again next week.
Absolutely. And Wandering Dutch, not only are you talented on podcasting, not only do you have the best beard in the business, but you make custom consoles, custom controllers, and now custom intros and outros. My God, where does your talent stop? I can't tell. There's no ceiling. Tell everyone where they could check out your weekly Wednesday podcast. Where could people reach out to you on social media? And more importantly, where could people subscribe to your YouTube channel?
Most definitely, yeah. Thanks again. Been absolutely awesome show. Some really cool topics tonight. Actually, digging into some more great Microsoft mess ups, should we say, tonight for no reason. But yeah, no, it was a great show, great guests, great panel as always. Awesome chat. Nice and relaxed tonight. Actually, there was no silliness in there tonight, which was good to see.
Yeah, no, for the
There
most
was
part,
one.
I mean, there
Was there
is
one?
always
I
one,
must
but
have
One,
missed
he was
that.
coming after me for like the first half hour of the show.
oh,
Oh,
And then he
Oh.
disappeared. I've never had that before. I loved it. He's like, whatever,
Awesome
Mag.
stuff.
You don't even know what you're talking about, Mag. I'm like,
no, I mean you
okay.
are part of what is it, Unicorn Nation? Is that what it is?
Texas Nation, apparently. Yeah.
But yeah, you can find me in all the usual places at Wondering Dutch, of course, on the YouTube channel. Obviously, Wondering Dutch, which is the home of the Midweek Mix-Up podcast, live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. British Standard Time, 2 p.m. EST, and 11 a.m. PST. So it'll be awesome to see you there. Of course, we not long ago hit over that 1,000 mark, and now we're
Yes.
something like 1,100.
Nice.
So
Very
barreling
nice.
through
Moving
nicely
upward.
now.
Good job.
Nicely, slowly but surely. But yes, love the creativity. We will have actually Marion the Mad is trying out doing reviews for the first time, so I've given him a platform
Awesome.
to try that out on.
Nice, dude.
So
nice.
he will be doing a Far Cry 6 review, which is just getting rendered straight after this show. So that'll be up shortly. And over the next month, much like a lot of the people on this panel, I have an influx of new stuff coming from Microsoft. A Halo Series X,
Yes.
a Halo Elite Series 2, a Forza Horizon 5
20th
controller,
anniversary controller.
a 20th anniversary controller, a 20th anniversary Duke by Hyperkin.
Yes, me too.
So
yes. What about the headset? Did you
unboxings-
get the headset?
I didn't because I
I
already
did.
have.
I
I already have two. So no. So yes, unboxings are going to be coming out of my ears next month.
Can't wait, dude.
But I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, it's awesome, everybody. Obviously, love everybody turning up every week. If you haven't already, please drop a like, subscribe, and share this out because it does mean the most to us all. Showing the support, and of course, YouTube I think was playing up for the beginning part of the show. Didn't send out the notifications again, so
Yep.
please.
That's a big problem
please
that's
help.
going on. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. I was always under the impression that it was just the little guys. Like YouTube finds a way to take you 30%, right? They don't. But I saw, and I'm a big fan of his. I really enjoy Rich Review Tech USA. Like I'm a big fan of Rich. I'm not a big fan of the rooster thing that he does. I'm like, I could take it or leave it. He kisses the rooster. I don't want to see it, but I do like Rich. And he actually sent out, I got a notification. Hey, did my notifications go out for my new video? And I was like, no, Rich, it has. So, I mean, he is sitting on hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of subs. See, YouTube, the problem with YouTube is they're rubbish. And that's the problem. There's no challenger. So they just do what they want. Folks, all I can suggest is that if you're a fan and you want to get the notifications, for the love of Jehovah, when you're done with this, please go to my channel and make sure the bell icon is checked. Something happened at the middle of the year where everyone's bell, including Mrs. Boomstick's, was just clicked off. Now I don't know if that's internal sabotage by YouTube themselves. Was it a big F up that they didn't admit happened? It probably is what it is. But check your bell icons and just make sure that they are clicked, because again, it's becoming a problem. I mean, normally we're good for 400 or 500 people in the chat. We only had 300, and I'm not being full of shit. I am grateful for every live person here, but that's because some people just didn't get the notification. So please check and help put this out. Put this on social media. Go to your favorite feed. Drop this. Hey, Mr. Boomstick and that crew, they're actually pretty good. And throw it out there for people to come listen. But let me continue with the outros. Tempest Sun, our resident assassin. Thank you so much for being back, brother. Hopefully you did enjoy your 10th anniversary that you went with your wife, and you recharged your batteries a little bit. Tell everyone where they can get shot in the face by you by playing on Xbox Live, or more importantly, where can people reach out to you and strike up a conversation on social media?
You can find me at the Tempest. Oh man, it's just all.
I know how
And
it's
he's
like.
got
Don't
it.
worry.
I got
I know
screaming
exactly how
kids,
that
dogs
feels. It's
growing
okay.
up.
Every
I mean, I
time.
tell
Don't
you,
worry about it, brother. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I can't get man. Anyway, at the Tempest Sun, my gamer tag is Tempest Sun.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a lot of competitive shooters, and like I said, I've been playing Back for Blood. Hey, if anybody is a fan of Left 4 Dead,
You got to play the game. Yeah.
dude, it's on Game Pass. What are you waiting for? It's a lot of fun. It's a little rough around the edges, and we have like a 3-person squad now, so we need a 4th, but we're always stuck with a bot. And I'll be sitting there, and I'll get like one of those like chokehold, freaking like witch things on me, like dragging me away, and the bot will just sit there staring at me. So the game, the game needs a little bit of work, but no, it's great. So yeah, I've been playing that, and yeah, recharge the batteries, and yeah, I'm back, man. It felt good. Thank you to everybody on the panel. Thank you, Boom, and had a good time. And I will see you next week.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much for being Everborn Saga, which unfortunately is suffering from the bug known as Comic-Con 2021. Plug where they can get their next fix on, of course, the Everborn Saga. What you got going on, and where could people potentially strike up a conversation on social media?
All right, so lots going on. Firstly, because my SEO is in order, any platform you look at, you can find me at Everborn Saga. That's everbornsaga.com. That's Everborn Saga on YouTube, Everborn Saga on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and like I say, some random set of numbers on Nintendo Switch because they are terrible. Now, big trash. Now, what we actually just launched a new book. We just launched Prince of Arcadia Ultimate Edition Book 2, which includes chapters 3 and 4. And we completely remastered chapter 3. So it has all the up-to-date colors because we changed colors for the 4th chapter. It looks amazing, and it has almost 20 pages of bonus content. It is all packed together as 122 pages. That is the definitive way to read it. And if you get that, and if you already had the hardcover, those first 4 chapters bring the Battle at Wildwood Gate to a close. So you want to check that out if you don't have it already. That's that thing. Now, in November, we are launching the next Kickstarter for our latest series, The Redlands, which I'm going to start sharing pages from in the lead up. So you'll start seeing that in about a week or two to the new Kickstarter. And that is going to be a very big deal. I think it's our best work to date. So keep an eye out for that. But everything is on Twitter. I follow everybody who follows me. I think I'm following like 1,000 people right now. I answer all my DMs. So check me out. And on Thursdays, you will see us at Everborn Saga on YouTube for On the Reel, Thursdays at 8 or 9 p.m., depending on when I feel like it. And we will be diving into DC fandom and the 15 minutes of good stuff versus the 4 hours of
Crap.
not so much.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I am not a fan of that Flash movie, but you want to know more, check us out on Thursday. So Everborn Saga everywhere, especially everbornsaga.com for Prince of Arcadia Ultimate Edition Book 2. And we are launching the new Kickstarter for our latest series, The Redlands, very, very soon. More to come.
Thank you so much for that, brother. And middle-aged gamer guy, you, my friend, are also not feeling well. So let's get you on out of here. Tell everyone where they can strike up a conversation with you, potentially attend a secret unicorn meeting, and also check you out on Tuesday evening.
You almost made me choke. Well, guys.
Mag is the Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out.
Yeah, that double agent. Yeah, listen, guys, you can follow me on Twitter at the Middle Age Game Guy. That's with a GY at the end, of course. Obviously, you can find me here every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night, yes, you've got that fine gentleman who's just right above you there, Noof Nukem, and we are Gaming After Dark, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Asante, you're going to be on this show. You're going to be saying pause so much your jaw's going to be sore It's
I
going to
need
be
a
Pause.
soundboard.
Pause.
I need a
Oh,
soundboard.
Pause, exactly.
Right
I was
now,
waiting
exactly.
for someone. I was waiting for someone to say that. Anyhow, yes, guys. Also, I just want to send a special thank you to all the followers and stuff who seem to put up with my shenanigans and actually think that some of my stuff's funny.
It
It's
is
been a
funny,
wonderful-
dude. It's great. You should be
Well,
doing TikTok.
I want to. I just don't want the
Actually,
Chinese
yeah.
government spying on me. But that's a whole other story.
Too
But,
late. They already got you.
Yeah.
I know they already got me, so I might as well do it. But yes, yeah, I just want to thank all the followers and everybody else who's been show me so much support and a lot of messages and a lot of messages saying, please do more. And I'm trying to be like that starving artist. I'll be like, I'll do it when I get inspiration because I need something funny in the industry to happen, right?
We should
And
work
I'm
on
really,
something
really
together.
surprised. I was going to say, I'm really surprised though you haven't teamed up with Gaz to do some of his.
Actually,
I know,
I speak
right?
to Gaz. I spoke to Gaz a few times. Well, we did do
That's
a collaboration. We did a collaboration with Gaming Beyond the Box last week.
Yeah.
If anybody saw that. So we've done that, and then Game Pass guy was part of that too. But yeah, anyway, it seems to be doing something. I mean, I got I think it was about 550 followers in like 72 hours just this week alone.
Wow.
And all these people just say, "Hey, do more," and I'm like, "All right, I got you. Just I need something stupid to happen in the industry so I can make fun of it." But
We
anyways-
got to talk behind the scenes, brother. We got to talk.
Oh, absolutely. Anyways, guys, everybody have a great night. This panel is awesome. Noof, you're awesome, buddy. And guys, chat, you're amazing. We'll see you guys all next week.
Absolutely. And last but not least, the Cape Crusader himself. He had his day in the sun this past weekend. Sorry that 3 hours and 51 minutes of DC Fandom was just crap. And there was only a handful of trailers that were good. And Batman was one of them. Tell everyone. They can reach out to you on social media there, Cyber, and check out your growing YouTube channel.
Yeah, thank you, Boom. It was great being here. I love being here with you guys every Monday, talking games, talking, all this nonsense, having this camaraderie. I love it. Noof.
Yeah.
Glad to be here with you once again, my brother. Always enjoy your community nights, gaming after dark. If I'm not there live, I always listen to it afterwards. But yeah, guys, Cybernox everywhere. You guys know where to find me. Xbox Live, always hit me up if you see me on there. If you want to, game. If I'm already in the, playing the game or something, always hit me up for a party chat. I'm always down and to play with other people from the community. So next Monday, once again, hopefully we'll all be here and discussing more games. Oh, don't forget, this Wednesday on my channel, we're gonna have a little Batman talk.
Nice.
Me, Mag, Kay Asante is gonna be there, Tempest, and Cotton McCass. So it's gonna be good. You see,
Hold on.
and look at it. Look at every time I mention
someone's
Batman,
missing.
look at Everborn smiling. Look at it. Look at it smile. That's all I'm saying.
There was a reason I was not invited. That's all I'm saying.
There is a reason you're not invited.
This man was
Remember,
left off the cookout.
I've got one negative thing to say about that Batman. Robert Pattinson's teeth are spaced too far apart, and you actually watch the trailer where he punches the glass when presumably the Riddler's on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Look at his teeth. They piss me off. I don't know what it is about those teeth. I'm looking at him. I'm like, his teeth are too far apart.
So this is gonna be that kind of conversation.
We're not gonna cover the
Conversation. We're
We're not going to cover the fact that he sounds like David Beckham's trying to do a deep voice. No,
I couldn't understand what he said when he smacked the glass the first time I saw it. I was like,
He just
what
said,
the hell did he just say?
He sounds like one of the people in my retirement building. He's like,
So it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be this Wednesday.
Hold on a minute. We're not going to ignore Christopher Nolan's Batman. Where's your hider? Like,
where's the picker? Where's the picker?
It sounded like he was saying where's something else, and we're not going to get into that kind of show. That's for new
Pause
talk
there.
about.
Cyber, I want in on that. Let
Hit me up. Hey, we're getting everybody in there. It's not a problem.
Fine.
We're going to talk
Everborn,
about it.
You're in. Let's do
All
it.
right.
It's
Well,
gonna be
listen,
great. I can't wait.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We still have 118 people here. I don't know why you're hanging on, but thank you so much for being here. We definitely love you. We appreciate you. And I'm going to close out the show with something that is important to me. Hopefully, one day it'll be important to you. That's something that my dad taught us. And I think now more than ever, it's super important. Treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, and I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. We'll see you next week on the newest episode of Primetime Gaming with Mr. Boomstick and Friends.